heads up and light kind of in anticipation?
Yeah, obviously it's it's fun to watch playoff hockey, but it's even better to play. So we're looking forward to getting things going here.
I feel like this matchup against LA, the strategy that's involved. You guys are well versed, well prepped for what's required to play this way.
I said it earlier in the week. There's not going to be any surprises here between both teams. They will know what they want to do. We know what we want to do. It's going to be about who does it better for longer. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight all the way through, and
You know what to expect in Game 1 of a playoff series now, especially you're at home with being at Rogers and the crowd and everything. Is it easier for you to kind of control your emotions off the start than maybe it was the first time around? Or
maybe a little bit. With that being said, though, it's always fun to get back into playoff hockey and see the building so excited. I think everyone will be flying around for the first little while. Yeah.
Game 1s have kind of been the bane of the Oilers for a little while here. Haven't won one since 2017. What's the thought going into another one here, trying to end that kind of curse going on?
I wouldn't call it a curse. I would say, it's the last time we won a Game 1 in the series, we lost the series. So, it's a long series. You want to get out to a good start. Obviously, we would like to do that here tonight. It'd be nice to put in a good performance Game 1 here.
Is that just being overhyped because it's such a great atmosphere here? It's the opening Game 1. Does that kind of maybe work almost against you guys a little bit?
We've lost Game 1s on the road too, so I'm not sure what it is, but hopefully we can fix it tonight.
So your Game 50 for you was in the playoffs. Can you look back to Game 1 for you in the playoffs? A big evolution in your style. What do you notice different about yourself and maybe Leon as well?
Of course I can think about the first one here in Edmonton against San Jose. A lot of emotions, excitement, you name it. You're feeling it. So, just calmer. While understanding the hockey and the pace is going to ramp up. I think just understanding what to expect.
When you see a situation, like you guys had the bad 2 minutes in Vegas or whatever it was, and little moments of playoff hockey, is it about everyone being able to recognize those things before they happen? Is it about experience to say, okay, we've seen this, we can't let this happen again?
I think, and I think that's all about going through the process. I mean, we've talked about it before. We've had failures in the playoffs and learning from those. And like you said, those 2 minute lulls, you got to find a way to get yourself out of them. Only giving up one or whatever. I mean, even you look at the game last night in Vancouver. Nashville gives up 2 in 12 seconds, and that's Game 1. So, playoff hockey is lots about momentum and holding it while you have it and wrestling it back when you don't, and limiting the mistakes to give it away. So, those stretches of game, obviously that's not what we're looking for, and you got to grab it before it causes too much damage.
It's everybody's responsibility to make sure that the game is in order and they're ready to go. What are the ways that you're seeing kind of your teammates, whether it's practice habits or whatever, kind of steel themselves for this?
Yeah, I thought we had two good days of practice. Guys looked good. They were sharp. With that being said, though, I feel the room just feels like it's in a good place. There's not too much anxiety or nervousness or anything like that. There's excitement and a sense of calm that you need, and I feel like our room's in a good spot.
Connor, you go against a lot of defensemen like going against Valley.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the world. One of the best shutdown D-men's in the world, and he has been for a long time. And he makes it hard on you every single night. And with that being said, it's a great challenge. I love going up against him. It's always a battle. It's great to test yourself against guys like that, and I'm looking forward to it.
What's the status for Evander Kane for game one here, do you think?
I looked really good. I haven't checked in with TD, but I anticipate him being ready, good to go for tomorrow.
Based
What is the likelihood is that you'll be healthy enough to play in game one of the series?
Not sure.
It's
Yeah, the week's been, it's nice to finally get some rest a little bit. I've been dealing with a sports hernia kind of all year, so it's just getting worse and worse. So I thought it'd be good to take a week off for the playoffs and try to see how I can feel.
You play all year kind of waiting for this. Is it a little bit frustrating that it's flaring at this time?
Well, it's been flaring all year. I mean, it's just something I've tried to manage kind of the whole year and do what I can to feel better. But it's one of those things that it just requires some time and some time away from skating. So got that in this week finally. Looking forward to it, I feel.
Does it limit your ability to, we all know the type of game you can play in the playoffs, to bring that physical game? Does it hamper that?
Well, I mean, it doesn't affect my shoulder or my upper body to a degree. It's really just anybody who's had that type of injury understands like it's more skating and quickness and agility and quick movements that really which I really wasn't aware of until I've dealt with it now, can really affect you. So for me, it's something I was just kind of learning to deal with. Obviously always wanting to play and stay in the lineup, but got home the other day in Vancouver and really didn't feel good. So, or after the game in Vancouver, really didn't feel good. So thought I'd take some time off before the playoffs and see how I could feel.
You're always been known as a clutch goal-scoring guy in the playoffs, a guy that rises to the occasion to a big game. Can you come in here and be a different guy? Can you come in here and play your physical game and say, maybe I'm not the guy that's going to be on the power play. Maybe I'm not going to be the guy scoring these big good goals because this is not my role in this season.
Well, I don't. I would say no. I mean, I'm still the player. I still scored a decent amount of goals this year. I haven't ever played on the power play here on the first unit, so that's not a new thing, Mark. Opportunity's been more limited, but I've still found ways to produce at a high level for this team. So when the playoffs roll around, and again, not feeling great. So when the playoffs come around, I think obviously everybody wants to raise their level of play, and we'll see what type of we'll see how things look.
Can you get more out of yourself if you're today? Look at your line.
Well,
your line that won't play quite as many minutes. Is that helpful for you to manage the injury? To have the minutes down a bit?
Minutes have been down all year. I don't think the minutes really have anything to do with how I feel, regardless of the injury. Yeah.
Value rates. Edmonton'sBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking. Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Be a savvy Edmonton hotel shopper. Book through Edmonton'sBestHotels.com and receive up to $225 in cash rewards. There are over 50 member hotels to choose from, offering their best value rates. Edmonton'sBestHotels.com. Rewards with every booking.
Well, you wait 82 games, and it's finally arrived. The Edmonton Oilers, for the third consecutive year, meet the LA Kings in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Edmonton having dispatched Los Angeles in 7 games in 2022, 6 games in 2023. Alongside Bob Stauffer, I'm Jack Michaels with a play-by-play of tonight's opener from sold-out Rogers Place. And let's get a look at your Coventry home starting lineup. On defense, Evan Bouchard and Matthias Ekholm up front. It's Connor McDavid centering Zach Hyman and Adam Henrique. You can hear the crowd behind me. They are in full throat. This is the opener of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and your starting lineup brought to you by our friends at Coventry Homes. Flexibility within reach. Get back in the game with customizable designs by Coventry Homes, the official builder of the Edmonton Oilers. A playoff atmosphere unlike any other, and it starts with the national anthem here at Rogers Place, ringside, in the midst of the 18,000 plus. Here's Robert Clark.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command.
Night exclusive NHL broadcast.
Here he shoots and scores! Now it's Draisaitl off to Connor McDavid. Centers Kane for the hat trick. He scores!
All the action called by the voices who know the game inside and out.
This crowd explodes!
Bob Stauffer and Jack Michaels on the Oilers Radio Network.
Not long after Edmonton was eliminated last May in Game 6 on home ice against the Vegas Golden Knights, who, like the Colorado Avalanche the year before, eliminated Edmonton in this building, went on to win the Stanley Cup Championship. The Oilers started thinking about tonight. Game 83, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and here it is. Bob Stauffer to my right, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown immediately behind. We're on the 8th floor in our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, and the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway with Connor McDavid winning the opening faceoff from Philip Deneau, a man he dominated during the regular season. 5-on-5, the scoring chances were not close, 26-4. Deneau plays with Trevor Moore and Victor Arvidsson, finally healthy. LA dressing its full lineup for the first time all season long. The Oilers in the blue and orange and white trim dig it out of their own zone, and it's Zach Hyman twirling it back to center. Carried it back in by Philip Deneau, and offside were the LA Kings. 30 seconds into this first period, we're scoreless in Game 1, and Bob, you talked about the early 90s Kings, oftentimes favorites against Edmonton, only to come up on the short end. Well, they're dressed in their retro early 90s uniforms with the silver incorporated into the much thinner black numerals.
About 5 hits in that first shift for LA, too.
Sent in deep by Drew Doughty, who was second in the league behind only John Carlson of Washington in terms of ice time. He played nearly 26 minutes a night. Doughty gets hung up over the line. Leon Draisaitl dishes, and that went through the wickets of Warren Foegele, coming off his first 20-goal season. But a turnover by L.A., recovered by Doughty, who crashed into Foegele, and then a big hit. Darnell Nurse answering the bell physically. Anderson shimmied off a hit, and a shot low glove by Kopitar is squeezed by Stuart Skinner in the pipes. He's third in the league this season with 36 wins. That was also the third most ever recorded by the Edmonton goaltender. And you look at the other end, Cam Talbot's got the club record with 42. Very good regular season, Bob, but not a great regular season finale where he was touched for 4 goals on 13 shots. You could say the same thing for Stuart Skinner in Denver on Thursday night.
100%. Warren Foegele missed a great chance on a setup from Draisaitl, just couldn't negotiate contact. This is a big line physically for LA and an interesting matchup for the Oilers here.
Draisaitl 12 goals against LA over the first 2 years of this playoff series. Kevin Fiala got a quick chance off the draw to the right of Stuart Skinner, who made the save, and the rebound in the Edmonton zone, and a good finishing forecheck delivered by Pierre-Luc Dubois. This LA's listed 4th line, but they're mixing it up already with Fiala playing alongside Dubois instead of Lizotte and Trevor Lewis. And we're going to see some shenanigans when it comes to line combinations throughout the series. Edmonton guilty of an icing call down the right-hand side. Francis Chiron and Graham Skilleter are our referees. Linesman Shandor Alfonso, Ryan Gibbons are the lines. And again, a minute and a half gone by. We're scoreless in the first.
So Carrick took the last straw, but on the icing call, Carrick got off and McLeod got on. He's now out with his regular line mates here.
Face-off win for Dubois, out to England, up the right-hand side to Jordan Spence, whose shot flew wide. Battled for and controlled and cleared immediately by Corey Perry, who's playing his 197th playoff game the night. A hand pass whistled against Los Angeles. Edmonton 49-27-6 during the regular season, 5 points ahead of Los Angeles, 44-27-11. The players watched on the bus as the Kings tied the game with less than 2 minutes to go against Chicago. Once that game went past regulation, LA secured a 3rd consecutive trip to the first round and a matchup with Edmonton instead of potentially the Vegas Golden Knights had LA lost that regular season finale to Chicago. Here's a steal off the draw. Sam Carrick works it down the right-hand side. He'll start on the fourth line with Holloway and Janmark, a drive by Ceci, and that's squeezed by goaltender Cam Talbot. And, of course, Bob, during our open, you heard Cody Ceci scoring perhaps the biggest goal of his life to lead off the scoring, and as it turned out, the only goal Mike Smith would need in Game 7 of the 2022 series against L.A.
L.A. played that series without Drew Doughty. Edmonton shut the Kings out in 2 of the games and blew L.A. out 6-0 and 8-2 in Games 2 and 3.
They also played without Victor Arvidsson in that series.
It's going to be an interesting guy to watch this summer, Jeff.
Face-off, left side of Cam Talbot. Hey, it's Game 1 of the playoffs. You can't be thinking about the summer. Face-off, win for McDavid against Philip Deneau. Evan Bouchard, who led all defensemen in points during last year's postseason, even though he only played 2 rounds. Gets it back from McDavid. A shot. That's a bit of a change-up, and Talbot struggled with that knuckle puck and actually had to sit his backside down on top of it. It was a little floater from Bouchard, who got it a little bit on his inside left skate and didn't get all he wanted on the shot, and actually it probably gave Talbot as much trouble had he fired his normal 98-mile-an-hour blazer.
That one had a little bit of Phil Niekro on it, Jack.
Hoyt Wilhelm. Or for, I guess, we should make it contemporary, Tim Wakefield.
There we go.
Off the face-off. That's as contemporary as we're going to get. Yep. Lead pass left-hand side, Philip Deneau from center ice. He'll shovel it in. Stuart Skinner to leave it for Matthias Ekholm, coming off a terrific season. Up the right-hand side, Zach Hyman, 54 goals to finish third in the league. He'll dump it in. Talbot out to handle it for L.A. He was 27, 20, and 6 during the regular season, and his lifetime playoff save percentage is .921. Hyman had it poke checked away by Vladislav Gavrikov. Matt Roy tied up, turned it over. Adam Henrique, elated to be back into the postseason. Just the second time in the last 12 years. Bouchard to Ekholm, a drive, sailed wide, rebound off the post. Rebound, Henrique somehow could not hit the open net. And the Kings dodge a major bullet early. They'll take an icing call and do so delightedly. 3 minutes gone by in the first period. Meanwhile, a couple of players head back to the Edmonton bench wondering how that puck isn't in the back of the net.
Yeah, just bad luck for Edmonton.
Off the shot, Hyman a backhander and just Henrique, wide, and then Henrique put it out the other side.
I think Henrique got the post, Jack.
I think Hyman got the post. Henrique just put it out the other side. Off the draw, here's Leon Draisaitl. Fogle net front, shot by Nurse. That was blocked up top by Arvidsson. A second offering ends up dribbling back behind the net. LA just 6-5 in its last 11 games, starting with a loss to Edmonton. In these two teams' last meeting, Skinner outdueled Cam Talbot on that night. Oilers won 4-1, despite the Kings out shooting Edmonton 33-20. Draisaitl fighting the puck a little bit, challenged by Kempe, turns it over to 36-year-old Andrzej Kopitar. He and Talbot both 36, both key men in this series. Kempe, he can fly, shot, and that's deflected up and out of play. It was Adrian Kempe who gave the Kings a 3-2 series lead a couple years ago with an overtime goal in Game 5 in this building. Here, it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Kings. No score, 4 minutes in.
One thing Adrian Kempe has been able to do is he's challenged Stuart Skinner high. Often high to the glove side, cutting off the wing. Something to keep in mind there, Jack.
Kempe also got the OT winner Thursday night against Chicago, as LA finishing its season with a record of 44-27-11. Off the draw, here's Kempe. Tried to slither one to Kopitar, broken up by Brett Kulak. Now a shot by LaFerriere does not make its way through, and it's Mikey Anderson who puts it down low. LaFerriere keeps the cycle moving. Kopitar up top. Anderson left point. Now Kempe in the slot. A shot does not make its way through. LaFerriere, the rookie out of Harvard, can't locate the puck. Anderson holds the zone. Kopitar tried to center. That sailed through untouched, poked away by Nugent Hopkins. And now it's Leon Draisaitl through Anderson to the net. And Anderson, a great recovery to take it away. Nugent Hopkins tried to kick it back to Draisaitl, and it's just off the mark. Wow. Draisaitl undressed Anderson. He stayed with it and knocked the puck away at the last moment.
Great defensive play. Mike Anderson bailed himself out there.
Pierre-Luc Dubois with control of the puck. for LA. Ekholm able to cut it off. Fighting it a little bit was Anderson. Eventually flicked it in from the left-hand side with help from Dubois. Left for Evan Bouchard by Ekholm. Edmonton left to right. Up through the neutral zone. Ekholm missed Ryan McLeod. Grabbing it for LA and dropping it off to England was Jordan Spence. Eventually punched forward by Kevin Fiala, who had 29 goals this season. Byfield could not maintain, and breaking loose is Corey Perry. Ekholm tried to go lateral with it, and it was broken up, and it's Fiala to Dubois with a backhander off the pads of goaltender Stuart Skinner. Rebound, Corey Perry took a pop from Spence, got it rink wide to Evander Kane left wing, and now McLeod charges into the offensive zone. But Jordan Spence is first on the puck for LA, and it's a reset for the Kings, who got the first two shots. Edmonton since with the next three. Blake Lazat skitters his way up to center, a gritty fourth-line center. Kind of a pest out there. Gavrikov will try the left-hand side, and Trevor Lewis. He, Doughty, and Kopitar, the holdovers from the LA Stanley Cups of 2012 and 2014. Lewis and Spence came together at center ice. Kick back to Matt Roy, and eventually Lewis launched it toward the Edmonton line. That's going to be picked up by Deneau. Weaving his way through traffic, kicked it out. Gavrikov a shot, and that was blocked up top by Sam Carrick, making his Stanley Cup playoff debut. Dumps it in, slapped around the boards by Cam Talbot, who led Edmonton to Game 7 of the second round back in 2017. Philip Deneau from the left-hand side. A wrist shot fought off by Skinner. He had trouble with that one, but because he was hugging the near post, there was no chance for the puck to go in. Ekholm up the left-hand side. Bouchard to McDavid. Beautiful spin move. Right circle to the net. Backdoor. Shot. Score! Zach Hyman opens the scoring. 1-0 Edmonton. Hyman from McDavid.
Well, that time a reverse pivot on the zone entry by Connor McDavid. He didn't pick it up clean. And then he was able to sift a pass through the seam. What a reverse cut by Connor. And it goes through two sticks, and Trevor Moore couldn't pick it up cleanly. And that's the type of year Zach Hyman's been having. Picks up the loose change, and the Oilers with the 1-0 lead.
McDavid and Bouchard with the helpers. Hyman's first goal of the playoffs. First goal of Game 1 for Edmonton, and it's 1-0. McDavid, 24 points in 13 games against LA over the last two postseasons. He's got the primary helper on the series' first goal. And Edmonton, which has dropped 7 straight Game 1s on top. Draisaitl and off the rush. Nugent Hopkins one-times it off the pads of Talbot. Rebound for Brett Kulak. Sellout crowd on its feet. Kopitar up the right-hand side and shot in deep, and Vinny Desharnais will collect for the Edmonton Oilers. Bob mentioned that kind of year for Hyman. Not only the 54 goals, but he was also top 5 in the league in plus-minus at plus 36. Evander Kane rifles it into the offensive zone. He's been banged up. Sports hernia kept him out a couple games this year. A shot by Byfield, and that pinballed off Skinner. Rebound, Spence down low. Byfield, open man, shot. And Fiala took too long to get it off. It was deflected out of play. And with 12 minutes to go in the first period, we'll take our first break from an electric Rogers Place, which explodes on the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It belongs to Zach Hyman from McDavid and Bouchard. 1-0 Edmonton in Game 1 of this best-of-7 series against the Los Angeles Kings. And this is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
1-0 Edmonton in Game 1 against Los Angeles. Bob, last year, Game 1, the Oilers blew a lead, lost in overtime. Alex Iafallo now in Winnipeg got the game winner. But against the Kings, who play a 1-3-1, does the first goal theoretically matter more? Should it?
It should. I mean, you got to get them out of playing that passive approach.
Off the draw, Jordan Spence in the LA offensive zone, but a steal by Corey Perry, and the Oilers are able to work it back through center. Your 50-50 jackpot, well over $1.5 million, and tonight's early bird prize is $15,000 cash. So get on it. You've got about an hour to register in time for that early bird prize. Fantastic. You've also got an opportunity with that early bird, Bob, this year. Or this particular jackpot is a 2024 Ford Bronco Sport as the Kings work the puck in the offensive zone, or excuse me, their zone. Englund to the right-hand side. Dubois finally finds a crack in Edmonton's neutral zone, gets it in deep.
Quick shifting McDavid's line back out here.
Darnell Nurse will shoot it in from center ice. Talbot takes a peek. McDavid's line that just scored, and now Hannah Enrique had it hacked off his stick by Trevor Moore. Arvidsson racing for the puck. Good play by Ekholm to get enough of Arvidsson to knock him down and not take a penalty, and then on a cross-seamer deflect a pass from Deneau out of play. That's a veteran move by Matthias Ekholm. A younger defenseman might have maneuvered in such a way where he drew a penalty. Ekholm did not.
Yeah, what can you say? The guy's plus 72 in 100 games as an Oiler, Jack. Those numbers kind of speak for themselves.
Bob, if it were 1990, he'd be a candidate for the Norris Trophy this year. Career high 45 points to go along with a plus 44 rating. That was third in the league. Off the draw, Henrik kicks it back to Ekholm. He'll flip it ahead off the kneecap of Hyman. LA able to gain control at its own blue line. Deneau will kick it back. Gavrikov over to Matt Roy in the Kings defensive zone. Lead pass right-hand side, intercepted by Ekholm. Then slapped away as McDavid tried to cut down the middle. Shoveled in by Arvidsson. Oilers have taken a 1-0 lead. Zach Hyman from McDavid and Bouchard. Edmonton on top. Bouchard, left-hand side for Henrique. In full flight, McDavid whistles one high to the glove side on Cam Talbot. That just missed. Now it's Zach Hyman. Beautiful look. Open man. Wrist shot score. It's 2-0 Edmonton. Adam Henrique buries it. Welcome back to the playoffs, Bob. His first appearance in the postseason in 6 years, and he's made the most of it.
This matchup for LA, Philip Deneau going against Connor McDavid. What a shot, an absolute BB from Adam Henrique, high to the blocker side on Cam Talbot. And it's 2-0 Edmonton.
Two goals in a span of 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Have broken the seal on the opener of this best of 7 at Rogers Place. And Edmonton on top in its bid to defeat Los Angeles for the third consecutive year in the postseason. Oilers create a turnover. In the neutral zone, it's Draisaitl lugging it in. Doughty to Kopitar and on to Alex Laferriere. And they serenade Cam Talbot, the visiting goalie, here with a derisive cheer at Rogers Place. Oilers with an outlet pass. It's on target. And a quick shot from distance taken by Warren Fogle. What a look by Hyman to find Henrique, and Evan Bouchard already with assists on both Oiler goals. Kings off a dump in. See the Oilers clear up the left-hand side. In front of the LA bench, it's Blake Lazat. Carl Grunstrom, who was a useful player in the 2022 playoffs, scored 3 times against Edmonton in that series. He's making his first appearance since February the 13th. Edmonton able to break out. Ceci to Kane, a centering pass just out of the reach as Corey Perry had his stick lifted. And Blake Lazat the other way for LA, right to left. In over the line, shadowed by Darnell Nurse. Lazat protecting the puck, locates Carl Grunstrom, centering pass. That was deflected off the side of the net. Came back behind. Nurse trying to staple his man there, dug out by Grunstrom. Out to the point, Jordan Spence shoots off the pads of Skinner. Rebound, Grunstrom to Quentin Byfield. Scored his 20th goal of the year. In the regular season finale, it was his first goal in 20 games. Couldn't get going. Evander Kane up through center. He'll dump it in. And as you know, Bob, the Oilers have had the league's goals leader in each of the last 2 postseasons, despite not getting past the 3rd round either year. Byfield will dump it in. Kane in 2022 and Draisaitl last year. Here's Byfield back on the puck. Taking control was Ekholm up the right-hand side. A big hit on Hyman, able to shrug it off and get it back to center. Gavrikov ahead for Pierre-Luc Dubois. And again, Hyman got back defensively, took it away from Dubois, muscled it out through center, Henrique off to McDavid. And he's not going to beat the Kings' layered defense there. Gavrikov and Roy closed quickly. Line change Edmonton. Henrique unhappy, and we've got penalties coming.
It's going to be Pierre-Luc Dubois hitting McDavid from behind. It's only going to be the one call, Jack. LA's going to the box here. Cheap hit by Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Time 12:16 of this first period. The Oilers already with a 2-0 lead. And there's the interference call. And when we come back, Edmonton's power play lethal head-to-head against Los Angeles in last year's postseason to the tune of 9 for 16. We'll try to open a 3-goal lead. It's Edmonton 2. It's LA no score. This is Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement room.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Ouch! Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
At ATCO Energy, your trusted Alberta retailer, brings you tonight's first power play of the game for the Edmonton Oilers. Another case of strength on strength. Fourth-ranked power play against LA's second-ranked penalty kill. Here's McDavid in front, and just out of the reach of Draisaitl was the net front presence. Hyman out to Bouchard, high slot, then back to McDavid. Bouchard winds it up, doesn't shoot it. McDavid left circle. Bouchard, blast, and that went off a leg in front. Edmonton a 2-0 lead. Bouchard has set up both. Here's Hyman, rolls in front, quick shot, and that caught a piece of Cam Talbot. Big hop out to Bouchard, and now Nugent Hopkins on the right half boards. Draisaitl led the Oilers and finished second in the league with 21 power play goals this year. Here's McDavid. Winding up, Draisaitl gives it right back to him left corner. Bouchard, high slot, waits it out, dishes. McDavid, back to Bouchard, waits. Down low, Draisaitl. Bouchard, one-timer, and that redirected to McDavid left corner. Back to Bouchard. 6 3/4 minutes left, first period. McDavid, left side, Hyman. Shot caught by Talbot cleanly, and then a couple of shots. Nugent Hopkins had his helmet popped off, and a couple of forearm shivers from Gavrikov.
And Kempe, they're lucky there's not another penalty on them.
Halfway through the ATCO power play, but good pressure from Edmonton down low.
And Oilers have given the Kings some different looks here. This is an entirely different looking power play. McDavid's over on the left side hash instead of Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl in a middle bumper roll instead of in the right hash. A little bit more fluidity to Edmonton's power play. And Bouchard can't be afraid to shoot the puck.
Oiler power play, you may say it was the definitive edge in the series. 9 for 16.
Oh, that's a pretty good power play.
Well, you think about a 5-4 win in Game 6, a 5-4 overtime win in Game 4. The power play figured mightily in both. And if you flip that around, perhaps the Kings win the series in 6. Draisaitl will be chased out of the circle. He'll line up in the slot behind Hyman as McDavid will take the face-off against the veteran Trevor Lewis. His second tour of duty with LA, 13th season with the Kings, 16th overall, wins the draw, and the Kings pound it down the ice with 50 seconds left in the penalty to Dubois. Hyman and Henry, McDavid's line mates, have opened the scoring to give Edmonton a 2-goal lead. In Game 1 of this best of 7, we'll have Game 2 Wednesday night, 8:20 puck drop. Flipped down the ice by Lazada after Edmonton had banged it in deep. Bouchard stays out, so does the entire first unit. Bouchard kicks it back to the on-rushing McDavid. 132 points this year. Flashes through two-man wrist shot, and a save made by Talbot, and that skipped out of play off the plexi and into the protective mesh. But Connor McDavid burst of speed down the right-hand side. 100 assists to finish tied for the league lead with Nikita Kucherov, but he, by about an hour or so, not really, but he got the nod in terms of the first to 100 assists since Wayne Gretzky did it for the 11th straight season in 1991.
Wayne was pretty good.
Face-off, left side of Talbot. Draw one by Henrique. Darnell Nurse, wrist shot, blocked, rebound, chopped wide. Good look in front for Henrique, who had a notion. Ceci a shot redirected, a save made by Talbot. I think that was Henrique again with a tip. And this time Talbot is able to pull it into his chest, keeping it 2-0, 3 seconds left on the ATCO power play. But the Oilers, several good looks. They've outshot LA 11-6. They lead Game 1 2-0.
Well, you got 4 shots in the power play. I mean, you'll take that all day. You certainly haven't lost any momentum.
5:47 to go in the first period. Here's McLeod. Digging in against Quentin Byfield, who wins the faceoff. That'll be all for the Oiler power play. Ceci does hold the zone, and so 5-on-5, Edmonton back to work. Kane to Perry, twisted in front, save a couple of times on Corey Perry, and Evander Kane digging just outside the blue paint. That was good work by Perry to create a chance.
And a great left pad save by Talbot.
LA pumps it up the right-hand side. Talbot went through a 10-game winless streak. Otherwise, had a very good season and a bounce-back year compared to what he did last season in Ottawa. Taken away from Fiala by Evander Kane and worked down the right-hand side. Gathered by Mikey Anderson and now Byfield.
Talbot losing that many in a row. That cost Todd McClellan his job.
Fiala's shot was blocked. It was cleared back through center. Mikey Anderson, Tom McClellan, Bob's right, all-star break. The Kings made a move, and Dylan Holloway, making his second career Stanley Cup playoff appearance, has his shot from the blue line deflected out of play. His other playoff game was Game 4 of the conference final against Colorado 2 years ago. We'll return to Rogers Place in just a moment. 4:53 to play in the first period. Edmonton, an outstanding start in Game 1. It's the Oilers 2, Los Angeles, no score. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a one-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
All games, all seasons. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
Tremendous start for Edmonton at home tonight in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. A 2-0 lead. Leon Draisaitl wins an offensive zone faceoff. Fogel shot blocked. Rebound. Nugent Hopkins battled for control. Brett Kulak able to keep it in. Case you're just joining us, Hyman and Henrique scoring 2.5 minutes apart. Both goals set up by Bouchard. And our score, Edmonton 2, Los Angeles 0. Drew Doughty up the right-hand side to Adrian Kempe. Rink wide to LaFerriere. His shot caught cleanly by Skinner without a problem. That's his 7th save. And again, pushing and shoving, and this is what 2 years of battling in the playoffs will do. Not just the regular season head-to-head series, but if you include the 13 playoff games, this is game number 26 for these two clubs over the last 2 calendar years. Edmonton won the regular season series 3-1 this season. The only time LA beat Edmonton, Bob, as you know, was on the second of a back-to-back for the Oilers coming out of the All-Star break, where the momentum generated by their 16-game winning streak was stunted.
Yeah, no question.
And if that sounds like an excuse, I suppose it is. Off the face-off, a chip off the glass and out by Evan Bouchard. Philip Deneau able to kick it back. Roy over to Gavrikov. Matt Roy, right-hand side, locates Moore. He's a native of Southern California. Grew up cheering for the Kings. Scored a big goal for him last year in Game 3. Beat the Oilers in overtime. Put Edmonton in a 2-1 hole. Then LA went up 3-0 in Game 4, and that's when the series changed dramatically. Hyman wanted an OT, and the Oilers never were really threatened again. Moore with control of the puck as Edmonton with a pushback to the LA line. Roy to Gavrikov. 3:40 to go in the first period. Clock moving as it's chipped in by Trevor Lewis. Cody Ceci after it. He's engaged with Lazat. Ryan McLeod flipped it off the boards to Evander Kane, then back to McLeod. Just 1 goal in his last 20 games down the stretch, but his speed key in transporting the puck against this 1-3-1. And he and Kane go to work in the right-hand corner. Cleared by Lazat. Soft chip inside the Edmonton line. Darnell Nurse up the right-hand side to Cody Ceci. Big hit by Lewis right at center, and then played back to Ceci by Evander Kane. It's a reset for Edmonton. Onto the ice and a little handoff. It's Nurse, who played his first NHL game at the home of the then defending Stanley Cup champion LA Kings. Big hit on Byfield. He stayed with it, twisted it back inside the Edmonton line, nursed the outlet, and it's Matthias Janmark. He's wallpapered on the half wall on the right-hand side by Andreas Englund, who finished the season tied for the league lead in fighting majors with 11. Sam Carrick at center ice. No stranger to the pugilistic endeavors either. Gets it in deep. Drew Doughty hearing it from the crowd, and Carrick finishes his hit on Doughty. Right-hand side, beautiful feed for Philip Deneau. Now it's Pierre-Luc Dubois using a screen, rotating over his Kulak. Interior pass, a beauty, but Fiala couldn't get a shot away. He felt like he was hooked. And the Oilers advance the puck back through the neutral zone. Drew Doughty, pursued by Janmark, sends it fishtailing over to Mikey Anderson, and now LaFerriere able to spoon it into the offensive zone played by Ekholm. Didn't get much on it. Kempe cut it off. Centering pass, Kopitar. Busts through one check and then guides it out for Gavrikov. His shot tipped away. Winds up in the corner. Ekholm back on it for Edmonton with 1:45 to go in this first period. He clears it out. And now rolling to the net. Draisaitl centers. Reshot, and somehow that stayed out. Nugent Hopkins missed. Got it back with a backhander off the side of the net. Then trying to bank it home was Fogle. And somehow the puck stays out. And Matt Roy lifts it back through center. And I've got to say, LA's somewhat fortunate to be down only 2.
What a pass by Leon.
Bouchard just missed the on-rushing Adam Henrique, and that'll turn into an icing call. And at live speed, that appeared to be a certain goal. Draisaitl put it right on Nugent Hopkins' tape, and somehow the play was not successfully finished. Nugent Hopkins just muffed it. Quite frankly, got it up on the heel of his stick, Bog, and pushed it wide.
Well, he struggled a bit on 5-on-5 scoring, as you know, Jack, after a big season last year, 30-plus goals and over 100 points. Just 18 this year. That should have been in the net all day.
Off the draw, golfed out by Fogle. Did he put too much on it? He did. It's an icing call against Edmonton. And Nugent Hopkins, 5-on-5 against a goaltender, I don't believe had a goal in the final 3 months of the year.
That's not a good stat, Jack.
Had a couple of power play goals. He might have had one in the last 2 months. But I know he had a goal into the empty net. But
if he one times it, it's easily in the net.
Well, and
he double clutched it.
Yeah, we have seen the puck hopping around a bit. Arvidsson, right side Doughty, shot blocked by Bouchard. He did look like he wanted to secure that first, and now we've got a penalty against Edmonton.
That's a tough call, I think.
Adam Henrique will go to the box here.
Edmonton 19, minor penalty tripping.
It's a trip on Adam Henrique in L.A.
And they got a good
go to the power play.
As you know, 12th in the league at 22.6%. The Oilers penalty killing 15th at 79.5%, but under Chris Knobloch at 81.7th in the league.
Well, and also at home.
Yeah.
North of 85%. So a huge disparity in terms of what the kill does at home as compared to on the road.
So Carrick, a righty, going up against Kopitar here.
86%, fourth in the league at home. Edmonton's penalty kill. It's brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. LA controls off the draw. It's Fiala down low to Victor Arvidsson. The penalty kill unit, Ekholm, Desharnais, Carrick, and Nugent Hopkins. Spun by Kempe to Arvidsson. Doughty over to Fiala. His shot blocked by Desharnais right to Kempe. And then he waited too long, Bob. And by that time, Carrick got over to deflect that harmlessly out of play. There was a case where Kempe, like Nugent Hopkins at the other end, tried to dust it off.
Yeah. I mean, he got a lucky deflection. And if he one times it, he buys himself enough time and space and set a real good close there by Sam Carrick. Now it's a left side draw. Draisaitl will take it, especially with Henrique in the box. We don't know how many faceoffs Leon's going to take on the PK, but he's pretty good at it.
Off the faceoff, he kind of powered his way to the point, and when the puck came back to Doughty, he was there to intercept and clear down the ice. Final half minute of this first period, there'll be a carryover of roughly a minute for LA into the second period, but the Kings trail 2-0. Beautiful read by Cody Ceci, knocking it back to center. Fiala right side. Over the line is Victor Arvidsson. He was stripped. Excellent play, this time by Ryan McLeod, and that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes. Edmonton, a terrific start. Doughty drives one length of the ice that's blockered into the corner by Stuart Skinner at the horn, and the Oilers in command after 20, Bob. But despite the 2-0 lead, many inside this building would tell you it could be 3 or 4-0. Oilers didn't finish a couple of plays that appeared to be certain goals, but all in all, 5-on-5, dominate.
Yeah, and it's one line that really dominated. They got both goals. It's the McDavid, Henrique, and Hyman line for Edmonton, with Hyman and Henrique scoring the goals. So good period for the Oilers.
Let's go ringside. Brendan Escott's with Evan Bouchard.
Well, there's just something about playoff hockey in this city, Evan, and I wonder what it's like through 20 minutes playing in front of that crowd once again.
Yeah, that crowd is crazy. One of the best and probably the best in hockey, especially come playoff time. So it's been a good period for us. We should keep it going.
Picking up right where you left off in the regular season in terms of the point production, but from your team's perspective, how did you see that first 20 minutes?
It was good for us. If you trail on this team, it's tough to come back. So we got the lead. I think we should keep pushing forward. We're getting our chances. We just got to start capitalizing some more.
Thanks, Evan.
Thanks.
Guys.
Thanks, Brendan. A 2-0 lead for Edmonton. Officially, the shots now adjusted to 15-9 for the Oilers. And Bob, it bears repeating that, they had that one power play where they got the 5 shots on net. However, it felt like the higher quality chances, as they were in the regular season when Edmonton was number 1 in the league in high danger, it felt like, I'm not going to say Stuart Skinner had no work in that first period, but he didn't have to make a difficult save. At times, Cam Talbot was flipping and flopping, and the Oilers missed a couple of open nets.
Yeah, the Oilers had one blown D-zone face-off assignment that led to LA's best chance. That was it. And I got to say this, Jack. The LA Kings are lucky it's not 3 or 4-0 right now. I mean, a 2-on-1 with Leon Draisaitl, Warren Fogle. Fogle can't pick up the puck. And then Nugent Hopkins, inexplicably, Leon gives him a wide open net. That's got to be snapped home. He doesn't want time. And that said, pretty good overall period from Edmonton. Solid start to this game, but we've seen that in this building early in series before against LA, and the Kings have found a way to will their way back. So should be a highly entertaining second period, with the Kings having a grand total of just under a minute, 56 seconds left to work on the power play.
As a result, Edmonton has a 2-0 lead, but if LA bangs one in, to Bob's point, all of a sudden you've got a 1-goal lead and about 39 minutes to go in the hockey game. So it's a great start, but that's all it is. It's a start. And the Oilers at times this season have had problems closing it out, and what I mean by that is not during the regular season, but during the postseason, especially on home ice, where they have not won a game 1 since the 1990 conference final against the Chicago Blackhawks. It's 2-0 Edmonton after the opening 20. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
To the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822. It's our YEG with 630 Chad.
Chad listeners, do you know someone who bleeds orange and blue? We're on the hunt for the ultimate Oilers superfan. Nominate them today at 630ched.com for their chance to catch the oil during their playoff run. Then enjoy the hilarious comedic stylings of Kevin Hart as the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival returns to Kinsman Park on July 13th. Tickets at greatoutdoorcomedyfestival.com.
For details on these and more events, visit 630ched.com. At The intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Up the left-hand side, Bouchard to McDavid. Beautiful spin move, right circle to the net, back door, shot, score! Zach Hyman opens the scoring. 1-0 Edmonton. Hyman from McDavid. Zach Hyman breaks the ice. First goal of the series here between the Oilers and the Kings. 6:52 into the first period. Adam Henrique would score.
It was
Los Angeles in the first period. Matt Roy had 5.
Some of the biggest hits were the misses. I mean, Leon took a healthy run. I can't even remember who he was trying to, and he missed them and just about crushed himself. And Carrick did the same thing. Both teams were physical. The LA Kings were much more physical than I thought they were going to be. But they came out hitting it. It's one of those ones where during the regular season, you have guys that you know every night are going to throw hits. And there will be guys that on the score sheet that might go 2 or 3 games without hits. In that first period, I mean, if you were on the ice and you had a chance to finish your check, you finished your check. It was both teams trying to send a message in the first period of the first game. This is what it's going to be like all series long. Very entertaining, and Bob and Jack were right. It's 2-0 Edmonton. It should be 4-0.
Yeah, it probably should.
I mean, both Hyman and McDavid have wide open nets. Hyman grazes the post, and McDavid grazes a stick, and both miss wide open nets. Couple 2-on-1s. Nugent Hopkins misses an open net. So this was easily could be 4-0.
Well, Fogle didn't knock down that pass on the second shift of the game.
Yep. So
I mean, he would have been in alone. Talbot would have moved over, but
and then it's funny. The Oilers get a goal from Henrique. That wasn't, to me, that wasn't in their top 5 or 6 best opportunities. And if the LA Kings want to win this series, Cam Talbot can't let those goals in. You know, it was a nice shot by Henrique, but when you're playing a team that's got Connor and Leon and Hyman and Nugent Hopkins and guys that can put the puck in the net and Bouchard on the power play, if you got all those guys, you cannot give that shot up to Adam Henrique. And that would be, to me, the biggest question mark for the LA Kings in this series. Can Cam Talbot steal a game? Well, to steal a game, you have to make saves like that, and he didn't. So this was a period that I think everything that the Oilers wanted to do in that first period of the first game of a series, they did.
Yeah, Adam Henrique playing his first playoff game since April.
Trying to create more so, and that allows the counter strike, and that's where the Oilers would be very, very effective. So the LA Kings need the next goal to stay in this hockey game. The Oilers want to continue to push the pace. They were good. The Oilers came out and did exactly what they needed to do in the first period. But as you said, the next big moment of this game is scoring the next goal. If the Oilers score the next goal, that goes a long way into winning game one.
Well, quite frankly, you wonder if they would have got a third one shortly after Henrique scored, if that would have been Talbot's night. You know, I know we can go what if all we want, but
I got to be honest, when Talbot let that one in, I did look at the Kings bench at that point. I just did. When you're an underdog, and the Kings are, everything has got to go right for you. And you got to play perfect games. And that goal, to me, again, it wasn't like it was a 30-foot shot that beat him 5-hole with no screen. But he needs to make that for the LA Kings to win a hockey game here tonight, and he didn't. So that's why I was a little, is this the end of the night for him? I watched the last LA King game against the Blackhawks.
We were watching it together, yeah.
And Talbot did not have a strong that night. Game there. So that's back-to-back games where there's been some, goals that shouldn't go in and get past him. That's why I was wondering if we'd see Big Save Dave get into this hockey game. But this was it was a good period. The LA Kings, the best thing that happened to them is the first period ended. And they have a chance to regroup in between periods because they're only down 2, should be 4, and the Draisaitl line had nothing in the first 20 minutes, and they probably could have had 3 goals themselves. Leon Draisaitl was a beast in the first 20 minutes.
The Oilers lead it 2-0 after the first. There was a dramatic comeback in the NHL tonight. We'll tell you about that in a couple of minutes. Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
Global news at the first intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. A 2-alarm fire at an old aircraft hangar near Nate in Edmonton this evening. Fire crews arrived at the burning structure around 7 o'clock, and a second alarm was declared less than half an hour later as ashes fell from the sky onto homes and the Nate campus. Nate students have been evacuated. 11 fire crews are on scene dealing with the heavy smoke and fires from the hangar. Edmonton Transit has temporarily canceled LRT service to the new Nate Blatchford Market Station. Trains are turning around at Kingsway Royal Alex Station. The fire spread next door to the Brig, James Curry Jefferson Armory. 8.7%. That's what the administration at the city's recommended to council, an 8.7% property tax hike for 2024. That's 2.1% higher than what City Council approved in November during the fall adjustment. The province is introducing more measures to keep Alberta's power bills low. Utilities Minister Nathan Neudorf says static fees will help make power bills low and predictable across Alberta. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast is at the second intermission on 6:30 CHED.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit Rogers.com/5G. That's Rogers.com/5G.
Honey, I overloaded overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The save of the game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The intermission, brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Off the boards, it comes up on the wing. A long lead pass for Matthews. Matthews is in alone. Scores! Holy mackerel! Big Pappy has given the Leafs the lead.
Joe Bowen with the call from the Leafs radio network. Austin Matthews scores, and the Maple Leafs beat the Bruins 3-2 to even that series 1-1. As we update the scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers, the Golden Knights lead Dallas 4-2 with 7.5 minutes left in the second period, and big comeback in Carolina. The Islanders were up 3-0 early in the second. Carolina got a goal before the end of the second period and then scored 4 times in the last 9.5 minutes of the game. So Carolina beats the Islanders 5-3. They lead the series 2-0. The Oilers lead game 1 against Los Angeles 2-0. They're coming out for the second period. This is Fort Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers radio network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
MIC is a leader in medical imaging and the official medical imaging provider to the Edmonton Oilers. Make MIC your choice. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, the game doesn't stop for injury. MIC's sports medicine imaging specialists can help you get back in the game with a timely and expert diagnosis. Go where the pros go. For a location near you, visit mic.ca.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
We welcome you back live to Rogers Place. The Edmonton Oilers with a 2-0 lead after the first period. Game 1 at home in the McDavid-Draisaitl era. The Oilers are 0-5. But historically, if Edmonton wins Game 1 at home in a best-of-7, they're 13-0. So it's a 2-0 lead for the Oilers. Hyman and Henrique with the goals. Hyman is 20th career Stanley Cup playoff goal, 15 of which have come in Oilers silks, and Evan Bouchard continues to light it up. He led all defensemen in points last year in the playoffs. He assisted on both goals. Remember, the Kings on a 56-second power play to start the second period, which is now underway. Nugent Hopkins out there with Ekholm, Desharnais, and Matthias Janmark. The Kings gather themselves left to right, sending it in deep. Matthias Ekholm will turn and fire, and LA must go all all the way back into its own end with 25 seconds left on the penalty to Adam Henrique. Shots were changed yet again, so 15-7 officially in that first period for Edmonton. Doughty in over the line. He did not keep that puck from leaving the zone in the eyes of Shandor Alfonso, and it's whistled offside with 16 seconds left in this LA power play. A lot of milestones. We mentioned Hyman's 20th playoff goal for McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and of course Darnell Nurse. Well, Nurse was suspended, but for McDavid and Draisaitl, this is career playoff game number 50. And only Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky have more points in their first 50 games than those two. That's pretty heady company.
Yep.
I mean, when you get it down to, it's one thing to be like, you know, McDavid, Lemieux, Orr, and Bossy. Now you're down to two guys. Here's LaFerriere carrying it down the middle, lost the puck, and Skinner's able to squeeze it with the opening minute having elapsed here in the second period of game one.
It's pretty good company, Jack. And it shows you that Edmonton's problems have not been those two players. They have been dug in, and that's what has...
Well, Draisaitl's got 77 points and McDavid 76 in this playoff game number 50. Gretzky at 104, Lemieux at 101.
And those guys obviously played in a higher scoring era.
Although we're in the midst of a rejuvenation of that series.
A renaissance.
I'm not about to discount those players' accomplishments.
Come on. Those guys were so overrated.
Off the face-off, here's Hyman breaking in with Leon Draisaitl, dishing off Ekholm. And it's fed along. McDavid and Draisaitl getting a shift together with Hyman here 5-on-5 as LaFerriere moved it back into the offensive zone. Chip back the other way, and it's sent in deep by Connor McDavid. And a handoff from Hyman, looking for McDavid, poked away at the last minute from the Edmonton captain. Just a wrinkle here from Chris Knobloch, keeping LA honest.
Just giving them something to think about.
Gavrikov to Trevor Moore. Under control, cleared down the middle. You don't think this is a change for the game?
No.
Sent in deep, and that will be an icing call whistled against Edmonton as the Oilers don't get a touch on that puck sent skittering down the middle. Evan Bouchard just two strides from center ice. Bit of an unforced error there.
Kind of a sloppy two attempts to transition from Edmonton. Now Draisaitl will have to dig in and take actually it's going to be McDavid's going to take the draw here against Dubois.
LA permitted just 55 goals in the first period all season long. Edmonton got 2 and probably could have had 4. Face-off win for McDavid, and that was carved out of there by Bouchard to center. Brought back in by Drew Doughty, and he'll toss it down deep. Quentin Byfield will throw it around the boards. Doughty centers, and that was angled just wide on a deflection in front. Pierre-Luc Dubois came up with a puck off the right half boards. Thought he might have had a hooking call there. A shot from the corner and a save made by Skinner. I think Dubois had a better argument than the one on Henrique. Cross ice, and now a quick dish to the point. Moved by Anderson to Doughty. His wrist shot redirected into the corner, and Connor McDavid's going to make certain of a clear. He locates Ekholm. It's up to center, and Leon Draisaitl, with his line most decidedly at the end of his shift, just dumps it in. Doughty under control. Turned 34 in December. Trevor Lewis and Blake Lizotte are offside as they dash down the right wing with 2.5 gone by in this second period, and Edmonton leading by a score of 2-0. The other Western Conference playoff game going on right now. Vegas on top of Dallas 4-2. Despite being outshot 18-10 in that game, the Golden Knights have 4 goals on 10 shots, including the series opening goal from Mark Stone.
Wasn't he just on LTIR for the last 2 months?
Jordan Spence crossing. England will shoot it in. Skinner to leave it from Brett Kulak. Lizotte won a battle. Sharp angle shot Lewis, and that's held by Skinner, who makes his 10th save of the evening to preserve Edmonton's current 2-0 lead. Bob, the Oilers got a lot of flack during that 16-game winning streak. Oh, who are they playing? But in their last 20 games against playoff opposition, 13-5-2. Did you feel that the club arrived at the end of the regular season in close to peak form?
No. 4-4-2 in their final 10.
Here's a lead pass. Evander Kane tried to center, and that was deflected. Now, you don't discount the 2 losses in games 81 and 82 that didn't mean anything?
Yeah.
Corey Perry to Brett Kulak. His shot deflected off glass and out of play. That was, it went out of play, then kicked off the back of Cam Talbot and actually ended up in the net, and kind of a brief cheer as Talbot watched that come back on him and hit his shoulder blade and in. I discount those losses in games 81 and 82.
Yeah, 14-0-1 last year in the final 15. Didn't do him any good in game number 1, the playoffs.
Right. I would say, all right, the loss to Vancouver was, somewhat disappointing because at that point
they didn't have McDavid.
They didn't have McDavid. And I think that alters that record in the 10 games because not only do you have the 2 at the end of the year that didn't mean anything, but you had some games played without your captain. And I believe the Oilers were 1-2-1 in those games. Here's a drop-off, Fogle to Leon Draisaitl, short side, and that was stopped by Cam Talbot. Chipped up the right-hand side for Adrian Kempe. Anderson just missed LaFerriere, and that will be an icing call. Cody Ceci had enough jump to get back and force the icing call. 3.5 gone by in period 2. It's 2-0 Edmonton in game 1.
You mentioned Cody Ceci, and he was really good in his first year in Edmonton. We know most of last season he was playing with a groin issue that kind of limited him a bit. He's had a real solid bounce-back campaign, plus 14 on the year, chipped in a few goals.
He had 25 points. That's the second most of his career.
Not bad when you're your number 4 offensive defenseman.
Draisaitl a face-off, a shot by Nugent Hopkins. I mean, he had 25 points. And remember, Bob, he didn't score for more than a year. Still finished with 5 goals on the season. Here's Draisaitl, tried to center. That's intercepted by LaFerriere. Up the left-hand side, Adrian Kempe. Oh, a big hit on Darnell Nurse. A big hit. Nugent Hopkins, Nurse popped right back up. He's fine. Kopitar will wave it back behind the net. Kempe tried to center. Kopitar fired it back toward the point, but Doughty was late getting over there, and the Kings left to exit the zone. Not much of a reaction from Edmonton in terms of thinking it was a dirty hit on Nurse. Here's Doughty walking into the offensive zone. Left wing shot Arvidsson in the clutches of Stuart Skinner, who's now stopped all 11 shots he faced.
Yeah, that was a big hit, and I'm a little surprised, and maybe it's just from the angle that we had, but...
You thought it was boarding line speed?
Well, it's a regular season boarding penalty.
Face off right side of Stuart Skinner. Each team has had a power play tonight. Neither club has converted.
Carrick's out here. Right side draw to take it with McDavid and Henrique. And Sam Carrick, since coming to Edmonton, Jack, he's at 63% in the face-off circle.
Yeah, 3 guys who can take draws on the ice. This a face-off win for Carrick, but the Oilers don't clear it. Philip Deneau tried to give it up for Arvidsson. That was intercepted by Bouchard, and it's brought out of the zone by Adam Henrique. Ekholm with a turnover down the middle. Breakaway. Arvidsson shoots, and a save made by Skinner. Rebound Deneau. Behind the net, Trevor Moore. That was LA's best chance of the night. Arvidsson missed the first 50 games this year with a back injury. Hyman ahead for Adam Henrique. He'll finish his forecheck and create for Connor McDavid. Reverse pivot, dishes, one-timer score. Zach Hyman extends the lead to 3-0. Arvidsson stopped at one end. Hyman buries his second of the night at the other.
This line has just destroyed the LA Kings. They got all 3 goals at even strength. McDavid with 2 reverse pivots on goals. Henrique's just a smart player, knows where to go, picks his man, and Connor on the backhand finds a wide open Zach Hyman.
Arvidsson, a terrific chance that Skinner got his right pad on at one end, and then at the other, McDavid finding Hyman for his second of the game. 21st playoff goal of his career. And the Oilers up 3-0 here in game 1. Off the draw, Edmonton bangs it in deep. Cleared by Byfield down the right-hand side. And the crowd continues to serenade Cam Talbot, 18,347 on its collective feet. I can't even hear what the call is. I'm guessing LA was offside. Neutral zone face-off will be upcoming. Hyman from McDavid, And the one thing about Rogers Place, you see the new buildings sometimes, Bob, and they don't hold in the sound. That is not the case in this building. It is loud. What a feed by McDavid and a finish by Hyman, the kind we've seen all year long. Spilled in by the Oilers' Sam Carrick off the draw, and Talbot forced to freeze it as the Oilers come barreling down the center of the ice. And now with 14:37 to go, an offensive zone draw coming next for Edmonton. Adam Henrique with a goal and an assist, and Bob again, since he eliminated the New York Rangers in the 2012 conference final, he'd played one series. Obviously, they lost the Stanley Cup to the Kings.
They're going right back to him here, Jack.
But then he waited 6 years, got swept out of the first round as a member of the Ducks, and hasn't been in the playoffs since. So he's played 4 games since that run in 2012. McDavid beaten off the draw, however, by Pierre-Luc Dubois. Rushing back in, McDavid off an outlet. He tried to center, and Talbot got plowed into. And this will be goaltender interference on Zach Hyman.
Well, England should have got one for the cross-check, and they didn't call it.
I think they're going to say he rode him in to Cam Talbot rather than a cross-check, and Hyman will go to the box. 2 minutes for goaltender interference. As much of the crowd feels the way my broadcast partner does, LA will go to the power play.
Jack, the aftermath. It was after he came right down and cross-checked him after Francis Chiron with the call here. Here's a useless put. After McDavid's pass in front, which Hyman couldn't pick up cleanly.
Yeah, I don't see a cross-check there. Well, right. He ran into the goalie. You don't see the Oilers doing that?
Thought there was, of course you're going to cross-check him, but that's often evened up. Francois Chiron, one of our referees tonight, and Chandler Alfonso.
Face-off win for Anze Kopitar. Crossing pass. Here's Kempe redirected wide by Arvidsson. Chandor Alfonso, of course, a CIS player, correct?
And Chiron worked the championship final when Alfonso was with Lakehead.
6 minutes gone by. Second period, game 1. LA on its second power play of the night. Adrian Kempe in for the right-hand side. Gives it up. Arvidsson behind the net. Fiala forked it out to the point. Kopitar gives it back to Kevin Fiala on his backhand. Kicks it out. Doughty. Given back to him by Arvidsson. His shot was blocked. Arvidsson comes up with a rebound. Drew Doughty, right point. Kempe, top of the right circle. Feathers down low for Kopitar. Double teamed out to Doughty. Across, open man. Here's a pass in front, and that was deflected away from Kopitar. Another chance, Fiala. Arvidsson, side of the net. Adrian Kempe, deep right corner. Oiler penalty kill brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. A save made by Skinner left side on Fiala. And he's got the rebound and more pushing and shoving as the Kings are trying to scrum it up here with 55 seconds left in the interference minor. Handed out to Zach Hyman.
And Arvidsson's laughing with that call. Those two played several seasons together.
Very good friends.
In Nashville.
Usually have dinner together during the regular season. I doubt one was in the offing for the playoffs, but very good friends. And, of course, 2 key members of a Nashville club that went to the Stanley Cup final before losing to Pittsburgh.
2017, that was the year the Oilers up 2-0 against Anaheim. And then Nashville beat Anaheim in round 3 after Anaheim won in 7.
And did the Preds not finish first in the conference the very next year, I think?
They did.
Off the face-off. Draw won by Deneau. Got it back from Jordan Spence. Stepping up, surveying, dishing. Here's a blast and a save on Deneau by Stuart Skinner. Square to the shooter, no rebound. His 14th stop, a face-off to the right side of the Edmonton net. And, of course, I mean, we've talked about this, Bob. Ekholm and Arvidsson were 2 of the key pieces that led Peter Laviolette's club to 13 straight wins over Edmonton at one point.
Yep. Carrick's going to want to win a draw here. Lost the last one. Dubois comes in
to take it instead of Deneau, and he won it cleanly. To the point, Jordan Spence. He'll give it up. Dubois. Back to Spence. Dubois. Center centering pass off the pads of Skinner. Knocked it away from Byfield. Cleared by Darnell Nurse to Sam Carrick. And he'll rifle it to the left-hand corner of the LA zone. 25 seconds left in the Napa Auto Parts penalty kills. The Kings, another opportunity to get one back here and make a game of it. Jordan Spence up the right-hand side. Edmonton leads 3-0. Hyman has scored twice. McDavid and Bouchard 2 assists. Shot Spence redirected into the corner. Adam Henrique with a goal and a helper tonight. Worked around the boards. Punch down low, and you've got an opening for Trevor Moore. But Edmonton's back at full strength. Centering pass. Skinner got a stick on it. Fogle ahead for Zach Hyman just out of the reach. Hyman will negate the icing call, and now 3 Kings run at him. Centering pass, and Fogle unable to go short side on Cam Talbot, and now more pushing and shoving. Deneau and Hyman wrapped up with one another. Jordan Spence in the mix as well. Fogle stopped point blank. Boy, Deneau really went after Hyman as it's getting chippy. Edmonton frustrating LA again. Twice having eliminated the Kings in each of the last 2 postseasons. And now we may have a penalty coming out of this. We'll get you that penalty before we go to break.
24, minor penalty, high sticking.
There it is. I thought Deneau might get one there. He really went after Hyman. Hyman was the one man pulled out of the pile on the last penalty. This time it's Deneau who will go to the box. And Edmonton armed with a 3-0 lead on an Atco power play when we return with Ford Dealers NHL Hockey. The Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
At the Chop Leaf, greens for lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
3-0 hockey game in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. 2 in the first, 1 more here in the second. A couple of failed LA power plays. And the Oilers very much in control of game 1. Off the draw, won by Draisaitl. Nugent Hopkins sets up an Oiler power play. McDavid jitterbugging his way in. And Talbot's able to stop him. Covering that with 8 seconds gone by. And the penalty to Philip Deneau. Oiler Atco power play, 0 for 1 tonight. During the regular season, 3 out of 13 against LA's second-ranked penalty kill.
And that was a win for LA. That was after what happened in the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
They shredded them.
9 for 16 last year, better than 50%. Bouchard and Nugent Hopkins rifles it off the pads of Cam Talbot. Evan Bouchard, high slot dish. Draisaitl, centering pass, tipped home, Nugent Hopkins. That time he buries it. Draisaitl had set him up in the first. Nugent Hopkins given another opportunity, makes no mistake. 4-0 Edmonton.
Jack, the Oilers are going with completely different looks on the power play. They were very stagnant down the stretch. And Nugent Hopkins jumps into the back door, and he's got a tap in from Leon Draisaitl. And Edmonton's got a 4-0 lead.
Nugent Hopkins just 1 goal against the goaltender in his last 26 games coming into the postseason. But that time, he buried it on a power play set up from Draisaitl. And And the Oilers have tacked on 2 more here in the second to go with their 2 first-period goals and have a big lead in the opener. 4-0 Edmonton. And off the face-off, Blake Lizotte able to gather for the Kings at the red line. Unable to shovel it down deep, Dylan Holloway tosses it back in for Edmonton. Just one of those subtle, smart plays that he's been making more of since coming back, and then finishing his check on the far side against Lizotte. And that creates a second opportunity for Edmonton. Shot Nurse just wide. Rebound Cody Ceci. McDavid picks up his 3rd point of the night on the Nugent-Hopkins power play goal. Kings roll out of the offensive zone. Trevor Lewis shoots it in. But Bob, Dylan Holloway on that last sequence showing you why he's in the lineup tonight.
Well, he can break that 1-3-1 with his speed and his physicality.
Carl Grundstrom with a turnover. Cody Ceci lobs it down the middle of the ice. And again, Cam Talbot hears it from his former hometown crowd. Corey Perry the steal. Cam Talbot was beloved here in Edmonton. Evander Kane driving hard to the net. Sharp angle shot wide. Rebound Vinny Desharnais. Kicks it back to Kane's centering pass. Ryan McLeod on top of the puck. Coming off the goal line with a centering pass that's stolen away by Andrei Kopitar. And here come the Kings up through center ice. LaFerriere forced out wide by Kulak. Short side pass, Kopitar. LaFerriere. Matt Roy, shot, redirected into the corner. And now the Let's Go Oilers chant continues to reverberate. Drive spent, save, and a second stop on Adrian Kempe by Stuart Skinner, who has also played exceptionally well tonight for Edmonton. Another scrum in front of the Oiler goal. This time, no meaningful blows exchanged. 9:56 to play second period. The Oilers halfway home to their first win in a game won on home ice in 34 years. It's Edmonton 4, Los Angeles nothing. This is game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
At Northern Lakes College, students work, raise their family, and complete their certificate, diploma, or partnership degree. With NLC's supported distance learning model, you can do it all in a flexible online classroom. Programs in academic upgrading, business, health, human services, resource technology, university studies, and more, including a wide range of courses available through continuing education. Skate into your new career in a learning environment that works for you. NorthernLakesCollege.ca. Everywhere you need them to be.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit HeavyMetalEquipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Until June 8th, make the shift to more savings at Fountain Tire and get up to $200 off a set of 4 select tires, plus a bonus $50 off any service of $150 or more. Restrictions apply. Financing available. Book online today. I can tell by the look on your face you're thinking about it.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app. This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Halfway through the second period, Edmonton a 4-0 lead over Los Angeles. First period, the Oilers outshot the Kings 15-7. In this period, they've been outshot 11-8, but the damage is the same. Edmonton led 2-0 after 1. The Oilers have outscored the Kings 2-0 in the first 10 minutes of period 2. Oilers with a turnover in the neutral zone. McLeod gave it away, then got it back from Quinton Byfield. And here's Evander Kane, 2-on-1 with Perry. Kane shoots, and a save made. Talbot squeezed it against his left hip as Corey Perry burst in down the middle. He of the 53 career postseason goals, and Evander Kane 22, including a league-leading 13 2 years ago. I still remember, one of the most vivid memories from the 22 series would be Kane signaling Game 7 after he put Game 6 away with an empty netter.
Former Vancouver Giant. I'm told they have us on in Vancouver right now as well.
McDavid, a face-off win. Ekholm across to Bouchard. McDavid, one-timer pounded by Bouchard, and the save made by Cam Talbot. 9:24 to go in the second period, and Edmonton a 4-0 lead.
Well, this line has just dominated this game. They got 3 even-strength goals. Henrique Hyman with a pair.
Adam Henrique has, and that was a late season addition to the McDavid-Hyman combo.
Well, he's a lot like Nugent Hopkins. One of the things Henrique does, he seems to have great timing as to know he's in front of the net, yes, but it's when he goes there.
Henrique jumps in to take the face-off instead of McDavid. Won it, and then it was poked away from Zach Hyman in the high slot by Drew Doughty. Hyman threw it around the boards. That's going to be intercepted by Deneau. Wide open Arvidsson, a drive and a kick save made by Skinner. Rebound, Mikey Anderson. Drew Doughty under control. Anderson, a blast, score. And LA breaks through. It's 4-1 with 9:04 to go in the second period. Mikey Anderson with his first career Stanley Cup playoff goal.
Well, think of the sequence, Jack. The Oilers had puck possession, and Evan Bouchard hard-rimmed one around the boards, and there was nobody there for Edmonton because Zach Hyman was the right wing, and he chased back in defensive support. Oilers needed to reverse the puck back. Instead, it gets picked off. Doughty across to Anderson and his high-range bomber, and I think it got a piece of Trevor Moore, but he was the net front on the goal.
Anderson had 2 goals all year. He took the first handshake line, so I'm going to guess it's Anderson's. An educated one. But it's 4-1. Off the draw, sharp angle shot, Trevor Lewis from the right half boards, easily gathered by Stuart Skinner. I'm not sure Skinner ever saw that because there was a net front presence on the backside.
Well, Moore's had a great year, as you know, Jack. He's really emerged as a terrific two-way player for them.
Career high 31 goals to lead the team. In fact, this was only the second time in the last 17 years that Andrzej Kopitar didn't lead the team in scoring. It wasn't Moore, it was actually Adrian Kempe.
But we like what we've seen out of Moore the last 2 years in the playoffs from LA.
Well, he got the overtime winners we talked about in Game 3 last year. I thought 2 years ago that Moore, Deneau, Arvidsson line was their best. Up the right-hand side. Then Arvidsson was hurt for the playoffs. Draisaitl will send it around the boards. Cody Ceci picked it up in the corner. But if you think about that regular season, that was the line that gave Edmonton fits head-to-head. Anderson at center. He'll lift it toward the Oiler net. Skinner did not field that cleanly. And Andrzej Kopitar is on the puck for LA. Anderson to Drew Doughty. Now the Kings will look to get one more back here before the period is out. Still a healthy 8 minutes remaining in period 2. This one far from put to rest. Draisaitl to Warren Foegele, and he'll flick it up the right-hand side. They'll wave off icing. Anderson over to get it.
Sorry, Jack. Kings have picked up the physicality here, and it's resulted in them winning some puck battles.
Anderson directing traffic. Product of Minnesota Duluth. Powerhouse NCAA Division I program. Corey Perry stood up. His man at the blue line forced LA back to its own blue line. Spence over to Doughty. Sent in deep for Lazat. He's erased by Desharnais, but Trevor Lewis fires wide from the left circle. Rebound, Jordan Spence. Off the boards, he'll take it to Grunstrom. Turns and fires into a crowd. Rebound, score, and LA's right back in the game. 4-2. Lewis ends up jamming home the rebound.
Need better than that out of Edmonton. A little bit surprised they went back to this line that quickly. But the Kings are playing desperate, and they're putting pucks on the net. And another long-range bomber. And Trevor Lewis is going to get the goal. Chris Knobloch's looking at it down at the Edmonton bench. I think it hit the left forearm of Trevor Lewis.
The call on the ice is a good goal.
So now it's incumbent upon, if you challenge here, Bob, and you don't win it,
they're not going to challenge.
The Kings would have an opportunity at a power play to pull within 4-3 theoretically.
I don't see Edmonton challenging here. Got to be right. And to me, I think that's just an unlucky bounce for Edmonton and a good goal.
And again crashing the net. They're taking a long look at it, partner, and it is going to be challenged.
The play is now under review.
Oh, no, it's under review first. They're making sure that this was played legally and not with a high stick or a hand pass. But if you knock it down and shoot it in, you're good to go. It just can't hit another player's hand and drop at your feet for you to shoot in.
I think it never got the stick.
Grunstrom,
it hits
floater.
It hits him up high.
I actually thought it hit Skinner.
That's a good goal all day. That's going to count, and you can't challenge that if you're Edmonton. It just hits.
It caught him in the left glove.
Yeah, that's a good goal, Jack. But
he didn't punch it in. It doesn't look like he punches it in. It just looks like it went off him. I mean, he's also engaged with Vinny Desharnais, so he's trying to extricate himself from the big man.
But they put 2 pucks to the net and scored goals here. Just by directing pucks on goal, Edmonton's got to do a little bit better job of boxing out.
Just to clarify, this is a review, not a challenge.
Right, from the league.
So it's not a situation where the Oilers are going to go down a man. There's the chop. It hits him in the left glove. Now, are they going to rule that he was extricating himself from Vinny Desharnais, or are they going to say he had already gotten through Vinny Desharnais and deliberately punched that puck into the net? And from our angles that we've seen, it's hard to come to a conclusion where he deliberately jabbed that puck into the net.
That's a wily veteran move from Trevor Lewis is what it is. And I think it's going to count.
Just the angles that are seen, you could make the argument that he's free from the battle of Desharnais, but again, you're slowing it down to such a degree. See what they say here. Very close. Francis Chiron.
Upon video review, has been determined that the puck went into the net off a glove. Therefore, there is no goal in the play.
No goal.
Wow. Now does LA challenge?
That's a bit of a break, I think. I didn't necessarily think. I think he's kind of fighting for position there. It's a veteran move, and you could also say, is it possible it catches the butt end of the stick? They're not challenging, so here we go.
Jack, we're the Oilers broadcasters. I'm with you. I'm surprised that
was overturned. Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
4-1. The score remains. I mean, he definitely chops down at the puck with his glove. Connor McDavid back behind the net. I just didn't see it being overturned. Burrowing in and getting position, Pierre-Luc Dubois. That's a big blow to the Kings' comeback hopes. Kevin Fiala will dump it in. I mean, a 4-2 game, and you've got 27 minutes left. It's game on. Hyman ahead for Connor McDavid. Tried to center for Henrique. That was broken up. Worked around the boards. Kevin Fiala rifles a pass, broken up by Bouchard. Carrick will kick it back to him. Bouchard, the stretch play to Matthias Ekholm. In over the line. Ekholm, sharp angle shot. Guided back behind. Dylan Holloway back on top of the puck for Edmonton. Fires a pass out to Darnell Nurse from the left point. His centering pass intended for Carrick. Ridden into the boards. Carrick trying to protect against Victor Arvidsson. Dylan Holloway trapped in the corner, and Arvidsson able to chisel that one free for Matt Roy. Up to Deneau, and from center ice, he'll dump it behind the Oiler defense. Nurse banged it hard off the boards. That'll sail wide of the net and turn into an icing call against Edmonton with 6:05 to go in the second period. And thus far, it's only Mikey Anderson on the board for LA. Meanwhile, Edmonton, a three-point night from Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman has scored twice. 2 in the first, 2 in the second for Edmonton. The lone reply from Anderson put the Kings on the board, but they were down 4-0 at the time. Draw won by LA. Shot Doughty. Save Stuart Skinner. 22 stops for Skinner tonight. We'll take time out from Rogers Place. Sellout crowd to see if Edmonton can win for the first time in a Game 1 at home in the Connor McDavid era. It is 4-1 Oilers. Game 1, best of 7, first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options. Or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
Get ready to live sky high. Sky Signature Suites offers remarkable units for rent, featuring sophisticated floor plans, designer finishes, resort-like amenities, and breathtaking views. Sky is the address for socializing, dining, entertainment, and fun in the heart of Ice District. Sign a 1-year lease now and receive a complimentary ticket to an Edmonton Oilers home playoff game. This offer won't last long. Visit SkySignatureSuites.com for details.
All games, all seasons.
You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
4-1 hockey game in favor of Edmonton. Game 1 of this first-round series against the Los Angeles Kings, who won their way into this position, meaning a third straight series against the Oilers, with a final day come-from-behind win over the Chicago Blackhawks. Otherwise, it would have been Edmonton and Vegas, which would have been another rematch. Of course, the Golden Knights eliminated the Oilers in 6 last year on their way to the Stanley Cup. But now from our Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth, it's Jack, Bob, Reed, and Rob with you. Oilers Radio Network Game 2 Wednesday night. And we'll have it for you at 8:20 Mountain Time. Flipped in by Deneau. Big hit as he finished it hard on Darnell Nurse. And the Kings with a centering pass that's intercepted by Nugent Hopkins. Draisaitl to Fogle. His shot right into the crest of Cam Talbot. He'll put that to rest with 5:35 to go in the second period. Bob, you and I went to break after the first saying that perhaps LA was fortunate to be down only 2-0. I'd say this. The Oilers up 4-1 in the second. You could make an argument Edmonton's just as fortunate to have 2 of the 3 goals in this period.
There's no question. It could have easily been a 3-2 game right now for Edmonton instead of a 4-1 game. Out comes McDavid, Henrique, and Hyman, who are on the ice for the goal against. Play I think Evan Bouchard would like to have had over. Just where he put the puck. I mean, he put the puck to where Hyman would normally be, but the problem with that is Hyman was the guy in backside pursuit.
McDavid moved out of the circle, replaced by Henrique, who lost the face-off to the 36-year-old Andrei Kopitar up the left-hand side. Laferriere off to Adrian Kempe. Laferriere had it swatted away. Kempe in hot pursuit of the puck, and it's nudged back to center. And Adam Henrique went down in a heap.
That was a slew foot.
I thought so at live speed. Anderson left-hand side looking for Kempe, then bumped in by Gavrikov. Grabbed and brought the other way by Zach Hyman. Gavrikov defending at center, now jumping up on the play. To join the rush is Connor McDavid. Squeezed down low by Kulak, out of the reach of Henrique. And it's Matt Roy to Kopitar. He knew McDavid was coming and cleared inside the Oiler blue line. Kulak will grab it and take a skate with 4:45 to play in period 2. Edmonton 4, Los Angeles 1. McDavid has assisted on 3 of the 4 goals. Perry to McLeod, a shot off the rush, swallowed up by Matt Roy. Back to Corey Perry. Bouchard thought about a one-timer around Lazat, tried to dish to McLeod and just missed him. Bouchard assisted on the first 2 goals tonight. Now it's Corey Perry dragging it against Lewis. He's had some good battles with Lewis over the years, and a face-off a shot from distance will lead to a face-off to Talbot's left as Bouchard sees it disappear into Talbot's midsection.
I mean, you're sitting here at 29 shots, Jack, the first 35 and a half minutes of this game for Edmonton. That's a lot.
Especially against an LA club that ranked 4th in the league in shots against this season. But Edmonton was not only the number 1 shot-producing club, most high-danger chances, and 4th in the league in scoring. So it's strength on strength. LA's defensive prowess against Edmonton's relentless attack. And right now it's advantage Oilers, as it was in the regular season and as the first 2 playoff series went. Kane, I thought, was tripped. LA will break out. Jordan Spence on the move through center, and that's an offside against the Kings. Neutral zone faceoff upcoming with 3:54 to go in the second period. 4-1 Edmonton.
Well, you think of the penalty that Philip Deneau took in a 3-0 game against an Oilers power play that had 5 shots in their first power play and 3 good looks in their second for a wide open tap in for RNH.
Well, you're really testing that second-ranked unit. That's what you're doing, and you're playing with fire against.
Bit of a shift here in the third line, Jack. We thought this
Holloway moved up.
Holloway's moved up. I think they need a little bit more speed here.
With McLeod and Perry. Vegas still with a 4-2 lead midway through the third period, trying to steal game 1 in Dallas. The home team won the first 6 games of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since 1970. But Toronto broke through in Boston. And now Vegas is trying to do the same thing in Dallas.
It's a good year for Boston.
1970, absolutely. Stanley Cup, Bobby Orr flying through the air against St. Louis. Sent in deep, Holloway. Behind the net, McLeod. Through a crack was Corey Perry. Couldn't drag it out in front, but Ekholm will keep it down low for the Oilers, and the cycle reestablished. Ryan McLeod to work against Anderson. Out to Corey Perry. The only man ever to score for 4 different teams in the Stanley Cup final. Perry hit hard by Anderson.
5 this year.
You hope he extends that record. Draisaitl, backhander off the side of the net. And LA able to hoist that back through center. Bouchard backing off with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go. He has a pass picked off by Dubois. Shot in deep. Stuart Skinner to send it up the left-hand side. Warren Fogle. Well, since that goal taken off the board, Bob, LA's momentum has been stilted a bit. The Oilers have kind of stabilized. Roy to Gavrikov, trying to squeeze his way up the left-hand side. Fogle cut him off. Deneau threw it back to Roy, and now will skate it out himself for Los Angeles. Kings in the white, skating left to right. Edmonton in the home blues. The Oilers, the second-best club at home this season with a record of 28-9-4 as that puck has popped out of play. And Chris Knobloch was even better than that, 27-5-3 at Rogers Place.
It's Colorado Avalanche-esque at home. They, of course, won the most games this year at home. 30-win season. Or was there a second 30-win season on top of Colorado?
Well, I know by points percentage it was Colorado, Edmonton 1-2.
There you go. Colorado was. How about that game last night?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you didn't have the over-under at 12.
Not with
face-off won by Carrick. Connor Hellebuck gave up 6, but still got the win. Here's Kempe redirected home, and the Kings, this time, a second goal will count. Kempe rolled out from behind the net, and from the right circle was able to bank it off a defenseman. And we've got a 4-2 game after all. Came right off the draw. Bouchard late getting to it, and Kempe banked it off, I believe, Bouchard.
Back to the front of the net. But, Jack, what are they doing? They're putting everything to the net. Everything, because they're down 4-0 and playing desperate. And suddenly McDavid's line's just +1 in this game. 2 somewhat lucky goals for the Kings after a couple beauties from Edmonton.
And Kempe's been the guy. 7 goals, 14 points. Head-to-head against Edmonton the last 2 playoff series, including that OT winner. And he's able to get the Kings back within 2. That's a big goal with 2 minutes to go in this second period. Hyman working his way through center. Henrique to McDavid. Loading up. Poked away. Got it back. Here's Hyman a shot, and that's kicked aside by Talbot from deep in the left circle. McDavid hungry for the rebound. Kopitar could not clear. Roy almost got that stick parallel on Hyman. He shook it off. Wrap up. Gavrikov kind of wrestling with Hyman. That was close too. Kempe will turn and float one up the right-hand side, and the Kings desperately needed a clear and got one. Final minute. Second period. The Oilers' 4-goal lead is down to 2. Byfield, by the way, will get the assist on the Kempe goal. Oilers dump it in. Less than a minute to go now in the second period. Deneau to break it out. Up to Drew Doughty. He's at center ice. Defended by Desharnais. Forced it down low, and Desharnais landed a good body shot on Drew Doughty. Lead pass, Evander Kane. Over the line, left wing shot. Kick save made by Cam Talbot. Rebound taken by Doughty. He'll chip it ahead, and the Kings crisscross their way in. Drive Arvidsson, blocked by Desharnais. Final 30 seconds of the period. Desharnais comes away with the puck, missed Evander Kane. He landed the big hit on Doughty, who let that puck go through. And in the meantime, we've got a penalty up ice. Is it one each way?
No, it's just on LA. It's a hard finishing blow on Vincent Desharnais after he passed the puck.
He's shaking up a little bit, partner. He's going to skate it off. Desharnais, Trevor Moore will get the call.
For 12, LA minor penalty for tripping.
Time 1940. And Bob, you talked about the untimeliness of the Deneau penalty. I've got to say the same holds true here. Yeah. You were in a non-threatening scenario, 20 seconds away from getting into the dressing room, down only 2.
Well, the other thing that happens now is if Edmonton wins the draw with 20 seconds left, they're gonna take it to the net. And I often think that Edmonton's too passive. At least they were in their final 30 games on the power play.
So they're better off with less time, is what you're saying.
If they win a draw, it's going to the net.
Draisaitl won the face-off. Nugent-Hopkins to Bouchard. Now back to Nugent-Hopkins, top of the left circle. 12 seconds. Bouchard faked the shot. Slung it over to McDavid. Got it back. One-timer blocked, and the Kings will clear, and that will be all for the second period. But Edmonton will have a fresh sheet of ice, still with a 2-goal lead, as the second period ends up being sawed off. The Kings got 2 after the Oilers had pushed the lead out to 4-0 at the halfway point of the hockey game. Now it's down to 4-2, and the Kings face a must-kill situation at the start of the third period. The Oilers will have 100 seconds on the Atco power play, Alberta's trusted retailer, and you know, if you push it out to 5-2, it's going to be hard for LA to get 5 past Stuart Skinner.
You got to give the Kings credit, Jack, just in terms of the intelligence that they're playing with, directing everything to the goal. There's been greater desperation, and it's a little bit, you know, this is part of their modus operandi. They don't score as easy as Edmonton has.
No, but they're middle of the pack offensively.
But they've scored a couple ugly ones here today.
And they've got 5 20-goal scores. There is some offense spread throughout the lineup.
Bang on. Edmonton's got a great opportunity here in the third period to sort of regain that separation that they need. They need a good power play, need to create some looks here and see if they can restore a 3-goal lead.
And we were highly complimentary of that Moore, Deneau, Arvidsson line. But if Edmonton should convert again on the power play, then you'd have to look at the penalties to Deneau and Moore as potentially costing Los Angeles this game.
Well, now, it is a best of 7, and sometimes you want guys landing body shots to sort of soften up a team over the balance of it. LA's been physical, but Edmonton has the lead.
And it's 4-2. Again, Hyman has scored twice. McDavid has assists on 3 of the 4 goals. Bouchard, 2 helpers. Nugent-Hopkins and Adam Henrique with the other goals for Edmonton. It was 4-0, 30 minutes in. Anderson from Doughty and Arvidsson at 10:56, and then exactly 7 minutes later, Adrian Kempe able to bank one in off Evan Bouchard, the assist to Byfield, and it's 4-2 after 2. When we come back, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown will have their thoughts heading into the final period, which has been Edmonton's strongest all season long. A plus 31 goal differential in the third. If that holds up, the Oilers will lead 1-0 for only the second time in the Connor McDavid era. They're 1-8 since Connor McDavid and the Oilers started making annual appearances in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Blue-collar work deserves big dollar perks. Get a heavy wallet with Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals is hiring heavy equipment technicians, maintenance supervisors, PM servicemen, maintenance coordinators, and pretty much every other position that makes Alberta go. We help move the earth that makes Alberta grow. So why not work for a company that makes your bank account grow too? Visit heavymetalequipment.ca to find your new career. Heavy Metal Equipment and Rentals, helping you move the earth.
Stay connected with your community and enjoy the latest updates and exclusive access to concerts and events by becoming a 630 CHED Insider. Don't miss out on a single moment.
Sign up now at 630ched.com
and click on CHED Insider Newsletter to become a vital part of Edmonton's premier news and talk community. 630 CHED, Edmonton's news, today's talk.
where Edmonton stays informed and entertained.
Today and every day. At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Time and ahead for Adam Henry. He'll finish his forecheck and create for Connor McDavid. Reverse pivot, dishes, one-timer score. Zach Hyman extends the lead to 3-0. Arvidsson stopped at one end. Hyman buries his second of the night at the other.
Yeah, big sequence there early in the second period. Arvidsson had a breakaway. Skinner 20 seconds later. Highlight zone for Century Casinos. All in, all games, all next to the Edmonton International Airport. Welcome to the Winter Zone. Edmonton would go up 4-0, but the Kings finally come to life in the second half of the second period. It's 4-2 Oilers after 2. Well, Rob, we'll slice that one in two halves. First 10 minutes, the Oilers basically continued what they did in the opening period of this game.
They did, and it was all on the backs of the McDavid line that was excellent in that period. Again, early, they dominated offensively. They created chances. The Kings had no answer to them through the first 30 minutes of this game, and in all honesty, the Kings had one great chance to cut this game in half. It's 2-0. The Oilers misplay the puck in the neutral zone. Arvidsson gets a breakaway. Arvidsson's one of their best players. Fantastic player. They desperately missed him. I think it was 2 playoffs ago where they didn't have Arvidsson in the lineup. He has a breakaway, has a chance to make it 2-1, and maybe this is a different game. He misses on the same shift. The Edmonton Oilers extend it to 3-0. And at that point, it gets to 4-0. You're thinking, this is going to be a runaway. But I guess we've seen this story too many times. The LA Kings just don't seem to go away.
Yeah, these teams always seem to have close games. So how did the Kings turn it around there in the final 10 minutes of the period?
Well, I think the Oilers, one, got sloppy in their own zone. And number two, the Kings simplified. They just threw pucks on net. They came a little bit more aggressive on the forecheck, a little more desperate with the puck on their stick. And they scored 2, and some will argue should have had 3, but they were the better team the second half of that period. And the only thing that made derail any comeback for the Kings was the penalty that was taken at the end of the period by Trevor Moore.
Well, let's talk about that before we talk about the review, because we talked before the game about discipline. Mm-hmm. And I realize players want to finish hits, and we've seen players get hit half a second after they pass the puck. Yep. That's the playoffs. But
not when you go at the knee.
He sticks his bum out into Vinny's knees. And the ref's like, well.
Well, and it's, for Moore, it's a fact that he's a small player and Vinny's a tall player. So when he sticks his bum out, he catches him in the knee. And you know what that was almost identical to? The one that Josh Archibald did against Winnipeg years ago in that playoff series.
Well, he got suspended for that.
Yeah, he got suspended, and that changed. That was the end of the series for the Oilers. The Oilers were winning that game, and he takes that dumb penalty, and all of a sudden the Jets score on the power play and are back in it. If Moore would have hit Desharnais at the exact same time in his upper body, there's no penalty.
No.
It's not a late hit. It's nothing. It's almost like in football, a clip is what it was. And you went at a knee and dangerous.
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous. So worthy of a penalty, and probably more than probably, certainly worth a look from the league, whether or not there's anything else, a fine or what. But it's dangerous, and you saw that Desharnais was in discomfort on the ice and then going back to the bench.
All right, so wouldn't be an NHL playoff game without a video review. So, again, just to clarify, the Oilers did not challenge that. Yes, the coaches can challenge a couple of things. They didn't challenge that. That was the league saying, we got to look at this. So here's the rule. It's in the rule book. It's Rule 78.5. There's a list of reasons for goals being disallowed. This is the very first one. A paired goal shall be disallowed for the following reasons. Number one, when the puck has been directed, batted, or thrown into the net by an attacking player other than with a stick. When this occurs, if it is deemed to be done deliberately, then the decision shall be no goal. A goal cannot be scored when the puck has been deliberately batted with any part of the attacking player's body into the net. So Lewis has his hand on his stick and puts it out, and it hits off his glove and goes down and through Skidder. You and I saw the same replay at the same time, and I said they're going to wave it off, and you said they're going to count it.
Well, to me, I don't think he directed it into the net on purpose. I think he was trying to deflect the puck. It did hit him in the hand, and it went down. So to me, that was a goal. That was a good goal. That there was no, when you're not punching the puck towards the net, he actually tried to bring his stick down. He's trying to get his stick on the puck. He wasn't trying to get his hand on, and it hit his hand and went in the net. So to me, it was a goal.
Right, but the last thing it hit was his glove.
Yep,
and
I understand that.
And he was trying to knock it down.
He's trying to knock the puck down. He wasn't trying to knock it into the net.
But if the puck is above the height of the crossbar, and I hit it with my stick below the shoulder, and it goes in, I can't go to the ref and say, no, I was trying to knock it down.
No,
and
but
then
he hit it with a
shoot
stick,
in.
though. But he hit it with a stick, and it was a high stick.
Right,
this wasn't a high stick, though. This was a glove.
But he still meant to hit the puck with his glove. Therefore, it's done deliberately. If it goes in, it's no goal. Like, it's clearly in the rule.
I don't think, because it says if he's deliberately trying to hit the puck into the net. I don't think he's trying to hit the puck into the net. I'm saying he's trying to hit the puck down. And he's bringing it down. It could be trying to hit it on the ice, and then you shoot it in the net. I don't think he's trying to punch it into the net.
It doesn't matter. If he deliberately hit it with his stick. Okay, so if I'm skating, if I'm skating in an empty net, and the puck is bouncing, and I tap it with my glove ahead of myself,
you're tapping it forward, though,
and I don't catch up to it in time, and it goes in, that's no goal.
No, I agree with that. But you're deliberately pushing it towards the net. I don't think he's hitting it towards the net.
It doesn't matter, Rob. The rule clearly states that if he touches the puck deliberately with another part of his body,
to put it towards the net, to score a goal, it says. I don't think he was trying to score a goal.
When the puck has been directed, batted, or thrown into the net by an attacking player other than with a stick. When this occurs, if it is deemed to be done deliberately, then the decision shall be no goal.
Yeah, and I don't think he was deliberate. First of all, I don't think he was deliberately trying to hit the puck.
But it went in. The result of the play was that the puck went in, so they can't go and say,
well, it's like if the puck hits him in the head,
knock it down.
He tries to hit it in the head, does that count? If the puck's coming and he puts his head there to block the puck and it hits his helmet and goes in the net, is that no goal?
Well, there was a Chicago player in the Stanley Cup final that headed the puck in, and they disallowed it.
He hit it on purpose.
That was a few years ago. Yeah.
I just don't think he deliberately tried to put the puck on net. And actually, in all honesty, I don't think he tried to he was turning around battling when the puck hit him in the hand.
To me, that's more the debate, is that did he see the puck in time to realize he was affecting its flight?
Yeah, so to me, all the rules, I heard all the rules, I still think that should have been a goal. And they deemed it not. Now I don't know if it's worth a challenge. I don't know if they can challenge, but I certainly wouldn't challenge it if I was the LA Kings.
They couldn't re-challenge it.
Yeah, no, because I know that Bob said, "Do you think they'll re-challenge?" Like, I don't think so. The refs just said no.
Because only the team that got scored on can challenge for a missed stoppage. So the Kings had no recourse to further challenge that. The decision was made.
Well, it was, and the ref said it. So to me, that should have been a goal. But the LA Kings still continued afterwards. Were the better team. The only thing now is they have to kill off a dumb penalty. And the one thing we said before the game, you have to play perfect hockey when you are the underdog. The LA Kings have now taken 2 dumb penalties, and they haven't got the goaltending that they've needed. And that's a big reason right now they're trailing 4-2 in this hockey game.
We'll check out our town scoreboard when we get back. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
Portage College graduates are incredibly employable. How does Portage know? 99% of employers surveyed said they would hire a Portage grad. Get career ready at Portage College. Learn more by visiting portagecollege.ca.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. You know what I'm a fan of? Alberta. The wide open spaces, the highways and byways, and a rugged, beautiful terrain that I'm proud to call home. Maybe that's why I'm also a fan of my Ford F-150. It's tough, capable, and smart, which makes it a natural fit for roads like these. So if it's a new truck you're looking for, look no further than the truck Albertans love to drive, F-150. Head into your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
As the excitement heats up on the ice, why not heat things up at home too with Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. There's no better pairing for hockey than hot, delicious pizza delivered right to your door. So whether you're cheering from the arena or your living room, make sure you've got Pizza 73 on your team. Order now and fuel your playoff passion with the perfect pie. Remember, on game nights, don't just watch, deliver with Pizza 73.
Believing in yourself takes confidence. At Portage College, 93% of grads say their education gave them the skills and knowledge they needed for their careers. That's the kind of confidence that leads to great results. Learn more at portagecollege.ca.
This is Global News at the second intermission. I'm Zach Ferguson. A 2-alarm fire at an old aircraft hangar near Nate in Edmonton this evening. Fire crews arrived at the burning structure around 7 o'clock, and the second alarm was declared less than half an hour later. 11 fire crews are on scene dealing with heavy smoke and flames from the hangar. The fire spread next door to the brig, James Curry Jefferson Armory. City Council scheduled to talk about, look at, and question those who came up with a property tax hike at a meeting tomorrow and again on Wednesday. The number is 8.7%. That's what the administration at the city's recommended to council, an 8.7% property tax hike for 2024. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he condemns a chant on Parliament Hill over the weekend glorifying the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. The chant was displayed in a video posted on social media, taken at a pro-Palestinian protest, which Ottawa police are now investigating. Trudeau condemns the language used on social media, saying it glorifies anti-Semitic violence and murder. I'm Zach Ferguson. Your next scheduled newscast is after the game on 6:30 CHED.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Row Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
At the intermission, brought to you by End of the Row Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
All right, the Town scoreboard for Pizza 73, official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Game 1 has just ended in Dallas. The Golden Knights take it 4-3 over the Stars. The Maple Leafs beat the Bruins 3-2. That series is tied 1-1. Carolina comes back from 3-0 down to beat the Islanders 5-3. They lead that series 2-0. The Oilers lead Los Angeles 4-2. They are on a power play to start the third period. Jack and Bob will tell the tale. Ford Dealers NHL Hockey on the Oilers Radio Network.
At the intermission has been brought to you by End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
When the Oilers are on the ice, the big hits are a part of the game. But they shouldn't be a part of your drive. If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown & Associates and their over 200 years of combined injury law experience help you. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown & Associates is ready to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Experience the exciting casino action at 3 Century Casino locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and next to the Edmonton Airport. Dine at one of their amazing restaurants featuring daily specials. Check out the best in live entertainment at any amazing location. Plus, you can always enjoy a great selection of casino gaming options or try your luck at off-track betting. And now you can feel the thrill of live horse racing at Century Mile Racetrack. Century Casino has it all. Come for the action, stay for the fun.
You're listening to Oilers Hockey on 630 CHED and on the Radio Player Canada app.
We welcome you back to Rogers Place, where the Edmonton Oilers lead it 4-2 in Game 1 of this best-of-7 series against the Los Angeles Kings. Third consecutive year these two teams are meeting in the first round of the playoffs. Edmonton has not won a Game 1 on home ice since 1990. Now, the Oilers didn't have home ice in the Stanley Cup playoffs for a period of roughly 25 years, from the early 90s to Game 1 against San Jose in 2017, but still, it's been a long time. The Oilers have dropped 7 straight Game 1s overall and only have one series opening victory in the Connor McDavid era, and they lost that series. That said, you always want to win Game 1, and Edmonton is up 4-2 with 20 minutes to play. A power play brought to you by ATCO for the first minute 41 of this third and presumably final period. Face-off win for Draisaitl, who's on the ice with Hyman, McDavid, Bouchard, and Nugent-Hopkins. The ATCO power play tonight, 1 of 2. McDavid, top of the right circle, surveying the interior, gives it up for Draisaitl. Deep in the circle, snapshot and a save made against Cam Talbot, his former teammate. Bouchard, Draisaitl, and now off the goal line, McDavid using Draisaitl as a screen, gives it back to him on the goal line. Draisaitl back to Bouchard, and he fumbled it away, and the Oilers will have to reset with 55 seconds to go in this ATCO power play. Bad penalty taken by Trevor Moore. An earlier one by Deneau created an Oiler power play goal. Bouchard to Leon Draisaitl. Kings were down 4-0. They've crawled within 4-2. Now they need a kill. Here's McDavid. Bouchard gives it back to Connor McDavid. Half minute on the power play. One-timer score. Leon Draisaitl from deep in the right circle. Roofed it. 5-2 Edmonton. Fourth point of the night for McDavid.
Absolute rip job from Leon Draisaitl. Bouchard will pick up his third assist, but David will pick up his fourth, and Leon, it's a lot like the goal he scored in Ottawa, the Scotiabank North Division, the 2021 pandemic year.
Can't take that penalty if you're Trevor Moore.
Want to work your way back into the game. Oilers back up by 3.
5-2, Leon Draisaitl with career playoff goal number 32. He has a goal and an assist tonight. And the Oilers' best players have been their best players. And just like last year, the power play has proven decisive. The Oilers are 2 for 3. The Kings are 0 for 2. And it's a 5-2 game. Perry walks in 5-on-5. Poke checked away from him. Blake Lizotte nudges it ahead. And off the skates of Victor Arvidsson. Stuart Skinner to handle the puck to Darnell Nurse. He'll throw it up the boards. That might have hit his own man in the face. That might have hit Evander Kane. He's got it back. Doesn't seem any worse for wear. And dangles his way through the neutral zone before giving up for Perry. Shot by Kane. Sharp angle sailed wide. Rebound shoveled down low by Adam Henrique. And then played by Kane back behind the net. Warren Fogle stripped by Arvidsson, and now Drew Doughty. Arvidsson, rink wide to Trevor Moore, looking to atone for that penalty. He and Deneau have taken penalties that have led directly to Oiler power play goals. Shot by Jordan Spence, and that's redirected wide. And that last penalty by Moore came with 20 seconds to go.
And they had momentum.
Absolutely they did. They had controlled much of the period. They hadn't outscored the Oilers in the period, but they had a 4-0 game back within striking distance at 4-2. Now it's 5-2, and it's Fogle up the right-hand side. Dylan Holloway held by Englund. The puck rolls out in front. LaFerriere able to clear to Blake Lizotte. He scrambles to center, bangs it in deep. Evan Bouchard will leave it for Matthias Ekholm. Plays it up the left wing boards for Evander Kane and onward to Matthias Janmark. Checked off the puck by Gavrikov and sent back the other way by Roy. Blake Lizotte, right wing, carries it into the Oilers zone. Back check from behind, popped loose by Sam Carrick, who's now on the puck and locates an opening for Evander Kane. Through the middle, tried to dribble it off his stick against Matt Roy and taken hard against the boards for his trouble. He went down in a heap and eventually trying to power his way through, but unable to do that was Trevor Lewis. So CC from the point to Kane, his shot redirected up high off the plex. He lands at the feet of Gavrikov, who does not clear the puck. McDavid finds Nurse, a shot and a save made by Cam Talbot. Big rebound up in the air, and the Kings are able to wrestle it away from traffic, and Kopitar hands to Gavrikov. But another good shift for Edmonton with nearly 4 minutes gone by in this third period, and the sellout crowd in an absolute uproar. Rifled down the middle of the ice. Skinner will knock it down and quickly advance through the neutral zone to Connor McDavid. He overran the play at center. Byfield had it poked free by Ceci, and here's Zach Hyman charging in from the right wing. Finishing his check, Adam Henrique. The Kings tried to work it through Ceci, but he pinched hard down the right half boards and keeps it alive. Zach Hyman around to McDavid. Tap back down low to Hyman, who has scored twice in this game. Adam Henrique has a goal and an assist. He's got the puck. Out to the point, Kulak. His shot was blocked. The rebound controlled and reversed expertly by Anderson. And now Kopitar will give it back to him on his way off the ice. 15-20 left in regulation. Doughty up the right-hand side. Pierre-Luc Dubois gaining the line, heading for the net. His shot rocketed up off the glass and ultimately out of play. But once again, the Kings, third in the league in goals against, trying to choke off this Edmonton attack. They've been unable to do it, and untimely penalties have not helped their cause. They've given up 5.
Well, it's been the difference in the game. You got one team 2 for 3 on the power play, the other team 0 for 2. And 2 needless penalties, Jack.
By good players, responsible players.
Well, it's an emotional game. Guys get amped up.
Pierre-Luc Dubois against Leon Draisaitl. Face off to the right side of Stuart Skinner. 15 minutes left in regulation. Draisaitl off the draw. By the way, Vegas held on to beat Dallas 4-3. So the Golden Knights have broken through and taken home ice advantage away from the Dallas Stars, who finished with the best record in the Western Conference. They would have home ice all the way to the Stanley Cup final, theoretically. Here's Victor Arvidsson, checked by Brett Kulak. Hard rim by Draisaitl, did not exit the zone. Draisaitl got inside on Dubois, and now we're going to have a penalty for holding call.
Edmonton's going to go back on the power play here.
Well, I think Dubois is going off. Draisaitl powered right through him, and it was kind of a reflexive hold by Dubois. He'll go to the box, and Edmonton already up 5-2 with 2 power play goals to its credit. We'll get another opportunity to maybe put the game away.
I mean, he was water skiing right off him, Jack.
Well, and it starts because Leon Draisaitl's moving his feet. Yep. Dubois found himself stationary. So when Draisaitl explodes through him, Dubois tugs him back. Easy call. Now a face-off to Talbot's right. Hyman and McDavid stacked in the slot. Nugent Hopkins on the left half boards. Bouchard at the left point in front of the LA bench. Face-off won by Draisaitl. Bouchard. To Nugent Hopkins, cross ice to Draisaitl, and that was broken up. Now a more traditional alignment here, Bob, with McDavid. Feeding it back to Bouchard, left point. Nugent Hopkins in the high slot, shot by Bouchard. That wound up. Doughty pounded it through McDavid and back towards center. Now McDavid carries it in off a feed from Bouchard, and he was checked on the ice by Drew Doughty, turning and attempting to clear, but Nugent Hopkins knocked it away. Cross ice to Draisaitl through the wickets of McDavid. Then recovered by the Edmonton captain, who has assists on 4 of the 5 goals tonight for the Oilers. Connor McDavid dishes off. Bouchard rifles on net. Save made. Talbot rebound loose in the blue paint for a moment. And Talbot's got it with 13:52 on the game clock and 1:12 left in the Atco power play. Brought to you by Alberta's trusted retailer. Want to alert everyone that the 50-50 jackpot is now closing in on $2 million. You're a little too late for the early bird prizes, but you got the Ben Stelter Foundation, the primary beneficiary.
Got a call to Anderson again.
Cross-check.
That's a regular season cross-checking penalty.
I don't think you're going to get a 5-on-3 in a 5-2 game with 14 minutes to go. Face-off right side of Cam Talbot. Deneau able to win the draw. Hyman reversing to Draisaitl, guides it to Bouchard. McDavid right face-off on tiptoe. 6-2. Hyman's got a hat trick.
Connor McDavid's got 5 assists.
And Edmonton closing in on its first game 1 win on home ice since May 2nd, 1990. Bouchard will pick up his 4th point. McDavid his 5th. Hyman a hat trick.
And we're going to have a delay here at Rogers Place, Jack.
An avalanche of lids have come tumbling onto the ice surface at Rogers Place, with Edmonton now leading 6-2. And the Kings' propensity for taking penalties is likely going to cost them game 1. Hyman, as he's done all season long, basically acting like bumpers in a pinball game. He's going to position his body so no matter what, it's going to glance off him and in.
It's like a lever, right? Like a flipper. Pinball.
6-2 Oilers. And game 1 has gotten away from the LA Kings. And Cam Talbot, who has 29 saves, but not much he can do with Hyman's angled body propelling that puck into the net. And we are now into the several hundreds when it comes to hats on the ice. I'm starting to think that at least 1/15 of the crowd has not only brought a hat, but then fired it onto the ice.
It's the one thing that the LA Kings talked about. They had a much better year killing penalties. Last year, in his exit interview, Todd McLellan, then the coach of the Kings, said the Oilers aren't going anywhere, and we got to do a better job on the PK.
They were 24th in the league last year. They were 2nd this year, but Bob, they're 1 for 4 on the kill tonight.
Yeah, the Oilers have scored 3 out of 4 power play situations, and frankly, they're unlucky not to have scored in the first power play of the game as well. They had multiple looks. 5 assists for Connor McDavid. You got to have your best guys dug in. I mean,
Zach Hyman did not have a hat trick when he came to Edmonton, Bob. He has cured that, and this one will be a postseason hattie and give Edmonton a commanding 4-goal lead In this series opener with Game 2 on Wednesday night, we'll have it for you at 8:20 Mountain Time.
Now you just roll over the 4 lines, Jack. Don't
and
take
we'll do that when we come back. 6-2 Edmonton in Game 1. The serenading of Cam Talbot. 18,000 in full throw. That sends you to break. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Stanley Cup playoffs, only in downtown Edmonton. The Oilers Radio Network.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of Oil Country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
At the Chop Leaf, Greens for Lunch gets you moving. Now you can shake, shake, shake it. Made with fresh greens and vegetables, choose from 9 delicious, oh-so-shakeable salads. Or try it as a wrap or rice bowl. So however you shake it, you'll enjoy something you can feel good about. Visit the Chop Leaf near you or order online today to enjoy some freshness on the go.
Honey, I overloaded the washing machine and there's a mini waterfall pouring through the basement roof.
We'll fix it. Don't worry, babe.
And I might have horribly shrunk your lucky jersey.
Life happens. Access Insurance can help. The Save of the Game is brought to you by Access Insurance. When Albertans need it most, they know they can count on the Access Insurance team for a huge save. It's easy to switch and save. Check out their Google reviews.
Visit accessinsurancegroup.com.
6-2 hockey game. Edmonton on the strength of not only Connor McDavid's first 4 assists playoff game of his career, he's got 5 apples. Hyman his first career postseason hat trick, and Leon Draisaitl in 14 career playoff games against Los Angeles has 13 goals. And it all adds up to a 6-2 lead for Edmonton. They have finally cleared all the hats off the ice. And we are set to resume here in the third period. 13:43 remains. Klim Kostin is here in Edmonton. He's wearing an Oiler jersey draped around his neck, and he's getting a standing O. Very popular player last season in Edmonton. And remember, he had a 2-goal game in the clincher in L.A., Game 6 of last year's first-round series.
It was the net front on the Yamamoto game winner.
Up the left-hand side, Byfield got it in deep. Oilers able to clear. Right wing Evander Kane. Cam Talbot is still in the game and makes a save on Kane's wrist shot along the ice, flicking it out of play with 13:29 to go in the third. And the Oilers on top 6-2. A pair of power play goals has blown this game one wide open. LA has given up 3 consecutive goals on the power play for Edmonton. And that 2-goal push the Kings mustered late in the second period, undone by some ill-timed penalties. Face-off controlled by the Kings. Adrian Kempe tried to put it up the middle, broken up, came back to him. Quint Byfield shot it wide from distance, shoveled down low by Kopitar. Off the stick of Kempe. The Oilers did not get it out, trying to utilize the middle of the ice. Darnell Nurse put it up on the glass. That doesn't leave the zone. But now, finally, McLeod shovels it in. The Oilers have an on-man rush here. Perry to Kane, mishandled over to CC. Has Talbot out of the net, tried to center, and that was tipped away from Corey Perry while Talbot regained his net. Kane tried to bank it off the Kings goaltender, but Byfield takes the ricochet, ambles up the center, and makes sure to get it in deep. 12.5 minutes to go. Bouchard lifts through the neutral zone. Oilers onside. Zach Hyman already with 3 goals tonight. At 54 during the regular season, to rank third only to Sam Reinhart and Austin Matthews. Drive by Bouchard, double ricochet, up on the glass, handled by Zach Hyman. Snapped it toward the net, only to have it blocked. And Matthias Ekholm after it for the Oilers. It does bear repeating that LA's only victory over Edmonton this year was a shutout for Big Save Dave, David Riddick, who, as Bob told you, rescued LA's season when Talbot went into a slump. Todd McClellan was fired. Riddick bailed them out, and his numbers were excellent during the regular season, but I'm not sure you're there yet heading into Game 2. I would suspect Talbot will start that game. Gavrikov.
I'm with you.
Off an Oiler dump in. England up the left-hand side, redirect it. And now guided up the right-hand side, Desharnais from Stuart Skinner. Now Riddick has seen the Oilers' explosive offense up close for several years. He was on the Calgary club 2 years ago and watched Jacob Markstrom just get shredded. Desharnais up the left-hand side, faking his Janmark, then threw it into the slot, and again the Oilers had an empty net, couldn't finish. Janmark has it back, tried to center, and that was well defended by Andreas Englund. He's really emerged for LA as a shutdown tough guy. Carrick threw it around the boards. Desharnais popped it down low. Carrick trading the puck with Janmark, and the fourth line doing a nice job here. Desharnais shot from distance, and a save made by Talbot through a screen. That's the 38th shot on net tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, and Holloway getting Lizotte riled up, and now Sam Carrick engaged with England, and you've got, what, a combined 20 fighting majors between those two guys this year. 10:48
you're up
to
by
play.
4. You don't need to fight if you're the Oilers.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Those are two tough guys.
Now you go and run one of their stars, and someone else is going to step up.
Look at you, making sure no violence breaks out. All of a sudden, a pacifist. Who knew? Face off to Talbot's right-hand side. Draisaitl between Fogle and Nugent-Hopkins.
Let's just say I'd be a little stronger with the Columbia protesters, if you know what I mean, Jack. I'm not that much of a pacifist.
Face-off win for Deneau up the right-hand side. Hopped over the stick of Darnell Nurse. Now Trevor Moore. Behind the net, Nurse looking to clear. Deneau cut it off. Breaking free was Laferriere. Shot from the slot, blocked. Trevor Moore got it back. Another shot sent wide. It was Moore's penalty that irrevocably stunted LA's momentum in this game. I mean, that penalty with 20 seconds to go in the second period paved the way for Edmonton to get back in control of this game with a power play goal to make it 5-2. Then another penalty against Dubois, and Hyman completes the hat trick. 6-2, and this game likely over.
What's that word again?
Irrevocably.
You don't hear that in a lot of NHL broadcasts, Jack.
10 minutes to go in the third period. Connor McDavid. Wraparound effort, and it was there. He just banged it off the side of the net. He had Talbot beat. Cleared up the left-hand side. Shot back in by Desharnais. Here's Hyman. Stripped of the puck. Kopitar. Backhands it ahead. Victor Arvidsson. And he'll chip and charge. Right now, a big hit. Adrian Kempe. A couple of big hits tonight. One on Nurse and that one on Vinny Desharnais.
Vinny put himself in a bit of a tough spot there. Take a number.
Desharnais still with control of the puck. 9 1/4 to go. Kulak to Corey Perry. Whacked it in deep. Matt Roy over to Gavrikov. And right now, I think Jim Hiller is taking a look at some different combos for LA, looking forward to Game 2. Byfield, Dubois, and Fiala on the ice right now. Byfield finishes his check on Perry. Creates for Roy, a shot tipped over the net. Tell you what, the Kings are playing hard to the wire here. They haven't packed it in.
They've been
cleared by Ekholm. That's what I mean. They're intent on exacting something out of this game, if not a victory. Here's Byfield left wing. Tried to float it toward the middle. Fiala threw it into the slot. Evander Kane there to take it away. Hard pass ahead for Corey Perry and shoveled in eventually by Ryan McLeod. Roy Finishing hit applied by Perry. Lead pass to Carl Grunstrom. Up the right-hand side for Trevor Lewis. Over the line with a wrist shot and a stick save made by Stuart Skinner, who has 25 stops tonight. England will wind it around. Lewis won't get there. Pinching hard is Jordan Spence. Lewis threw it into the slot. Out of the reach of Grunstrom, who gets it back from Jordan Spence. Now Grunstrom, high slot shot, missed high glove. Rebound clattered off the glass, punched forward by Carrick. And here comes Dylan Holloway with hand mark over the line. Nurse a shot. And a save made by Cam Talbot, his 33rd of the night. But 6 have gotten by him. And Edmonton with 2 goals in each of the 3 periods thus far tonight. It's Oilers 6, Kings 2. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll be back with 7:52 to play. Oilers closing in on victory. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey, the Oilers Radio Network.
McDavid trying to come in with speed. Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores!
Hey, Edmonton. Rogers wants you to stay connected to your Edmonton Oilers.
Connor McDavid! Fantastic!
Catch every goal on Canada's largest and most reliable 5G network with Rogers 5G mobile plans. To learn more, visit rogers.com/5G. That's rogers.com/5G.
Chemco is building industry across Canada, and now they're on the lookout for civil and electrical project managers, estimators, and superintendents to join their dedicated team. Why Chemco? Because Chemco cares. They put people first, offering top-tier compensation packages and an unwavering commitment to safety. At Chemco, safety isn't just a priority, it's everybody's business. Ready to be part of a team that truly values you? Visit chemco.com/careers today.
The Brick and the Edmonton Oilers both started right here in Edmonton back in the 70s. And we know nothing is more exciting than playoff hockey. We're next to you in the stands, painted blue and orange, cheering our hearts out. And when we're not there, we're in our stores, making sure you have everything you need to cheer them on in your home. We're proud of this city and its rich sports history. The Brick, supporting the Edmonton Oilers and fans right from the beginning. Let's go, Oilers.
Listen on air, online, and on the Radio Player Canada app.
This is the Oilers Radio Network.
Oilers 6, Kings 2. Connor McDavid, the first player since 1998 to have 5 assists in a playoff game, and the 14th player in the history of the league to do so. Edmonton 6, Los Angeles 2. Final 7.5 minutes off the draw. Fogle to Nurse. A shot wired wide of Cam Talbot. Cody Ceci works it around the boards. LaFerriere against Fogle. Kicks it back. Drew Doughty. Lead pass on target. LaFerriere unable to squeeze past Darnell Nurse. Shoveled around the boards. Battled for Trevor Moore in the hunt for that puck. Warren Fogle had it and lost it. Philip Deneau. Moore reaching. Crashed into Nurse. LaFerriere. Short side effort. Save Skinner. Rebound. Another stop on Deneau. Centering pass. Wrist shot. Another save on LaFerriere. Stuart Skinner, an outstanding sequence there. Fogle shoots it in. And Talbot kicks it over to Drew Doughty. And make no mistake, Stuart Skinner has also outplayed Cam Talbot tonight.
Absolutely.
Lead pass out of the reach of Kopitar. Desharnais over to Brett Kulak up the left-hand side. Henrique got a piece of that puck, sent it in. Playing with Hyman and McDavid tonight. And they have combined for 10 points off the top of my head, Bob. Here's Adrian Kempe. Wristed across. That was deflected. Matt Roy angles one off the boards, and that's taken by Brett Kulak. McDavid into the zone. Wrist shot, fought off by Talbot. Rebound stopped as Hyman was bidding for a fourth. Henrique could not keep the puck in the zone. It's Byfield up to Arvidsson. Back to Byfield. Between the circles. One shot blocked. A second glanced off the side of the net. Arvidsson out to Gavrikov with 6 minutes to go. When he tried to shovel it down low, Ekholm picked it off. Hit Hyman. Breakaway. Hyman backhander denied by Cam Talbot as he was looking for 4.
Uh-oh.
Evander Kane in the corner.
Hyman looks like he's a little dinged up here.
Down the right-hand side, Kevin Fiala back checking, poked off his stick. Hyman is going to remain on the bench for now. Corey Perry across to Ryan McLeod. Obviously, the Oilers don't require his services for the final 5.5 minutes, but as Bob indicated, laboring a bit on the Oiler bench, though he has not left it. Ekholm blasts it in for Edmonton. Meanwhile, back on the ice, Corey Perry behind the LA net. Taken away by the Kings' Blake Lizotte, and he'll break out with Trevor Lewis and Grundstrom. Lizotte left the puck behind at the blue line from one knee. He's able to weakly put it into the corner for Grundstrom. Out to the point for Jordan Spence. He'll wind it around the boards. Lewis trying to extricate his stick from Darnell Nurse. Finally does. Banked it off the wall, but not in position to hold the zone was England. So LA has to fall back with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go. England is a Lizotte. Now Lewis, a left circle wrist shot that's easily snared by Stuart Skinner. The shots are 43-31 in this hockey game. But more importantly on the scoreboard, it reads Edmonton 6, Los Angeles 2. The Oilers about to get a Game 1 victory at home for the first time in the Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl era. We'll be back with the final 4 minutes and change of regulation. This is Ford Dealers NHL Hockey in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Oilers Radio Network.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
Look, I know this is radio, so it's hard to show you how much is on sale during the Big One clearance event at End of the Roll Flooring Centers, but it's a lot. Like this flooring, or this one, and all these. Yep, all at clearance pricing for a limited time. Now, you don't need to just imagine what it would look like, though. You can use our visualizer at endoftheroll.com to upload a picture of your room to see the flooring in your actual home. Try it. Find something you love, then get a great deal on it at the Big One clearance event on now at End of the Roll Flooring Centers. Let's get flooring.
Did you know that there are 9 Napa Auto Parts stores serving the greater Edmonton area and have been doing so for more than 50 years? Since Napa first opened in Edmonton, the community has grown and vehicles have changed, but you can always trust Napa Auto Parts to provide you with the expert know-how and the best vehicle parts. And if that isn't enough, every time you visit a Napa Auto Parts store when you present your AMA card, you receive an additional 10% discount on all retail parts and accessories. Visit your local Napa Auto Parts store for more offers and expert know-how. Napa Auto Parts is a proud fan of the Edmonton Oilers.
All games, all season. You're listening to the Oilers Radio Network.
6-2 hockey game. Edmonton jumped out to a 4-0 lead. LA crawled its way back in, but undone by a couple of silly penalties. And the Oilers scored 2 of their 3 power play goals tonight as a result and turned a 4-2 game into 6-2. Here's Holloway in from the right-hand side for Sam Carrick. Behind the net, shadowed by Philip Deneau. 4.5 to go, third period. Edmonton up by 4. About to win at home for the first time to open a playoff series in 34 years. Janmark. Hit hard by Philip Deneau. Janmark tried to give it up. That was broken up. Good defensive play by Trevor Moore, but it was his penalty with 20 seconds to go in the second period that started the game back the other way for Edmonton. Kopitar gives it up. Matt Roy, left circle, backhanded in front, and that carom played by Janmark and safely off the glass and out by Janmark. Icing will be waved off as Gavrikov will gather it back in his own zone for LA. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the hockey game, and a wave cascading through the 18,000 plus here at Rogers Place. Shot off the rush by Arvidsson is wide. Rebound Roy had it blocked by Draisaitl, who then calmly wedged it through the neutral zone, settled down by Roy, and he'll drift back into his own end. Game 1 belongs to Edmonton. We'll have Game 2 for you. It's a Wednesday night, 8:20 puck drop from Rogers Place, and then Bob and I head to LA for Game 3 at Crypto.com. That'll be Friday night, 8:30 Mountain. Use your radio player app if you're interested in tune in and sync. And Dubois down the left-hand side banked another one in off an Oiler D-man. And this one went off, I believe, Darnell Nurse right into the net. I mean, Dubois was just throwing it into an area, and that's 2 off Oiler defenseman skates and a 6-3 lead now with 3:04 to play in regulation. Pierre-Luc Dubois with his 11th career playoff goal. He played all 82 games this year, Bob, but only 16 goals and 40 points. Did not fare well, particularly with Todd McClellan at the helm.
No, may have played a factor in the demise of Todd McClellan. We will tell you, Zach Hyman is back on the ice here. I don't see the Kings pulling a goalie down by 3.
3 minutes to go. Off the face-off. Hyman looking none the worse for wear. A wrist shot off the rush and another save for Talbot. And he took an extra pop from Andreas Englund. 2:57 remaining in the hockey game. And, you know, it's funny. You know, we say, well, LA could have done this, could have done that. They've also banked in 2 shots.
Well, all 3 of their goals sound like they were elite-level 3-way passing plays with tap-in goals.
Well, Anderson was a good shot through a screen. I mean, I don't think Skinner ever saw that.
But 2 deflection redirections off of skates.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So a couple of fluky goals for LA, 6-3. And as Bob predicted, no move to pull Cam Talbot just yet. Went Byfield into the zone, rifled on net by Fiala. Save made by Stuart Skinner and worked up the right-hand side. Kempe will draw the lone assist on the Dubois goal, which was banked off Darnell Nurse. Earlier, Bouchard had one go off a skate. That was Kempe's goal. He's got a goal and an assist tonight. 16 points now in 14 playoff games against the Oilers as the Kings came up ice with the puck cleared into the Edmonton bench. 2:09 to play in the third period. And a center ice face-off, and Jim Hiller recognizing that this one out of reach, not pulling his goalie. He'll play it straight up to the finish. And the Kings will look to get a split on Wednesday.
One of the things the Kings did is they pounded Edmonton physically. Got a bigger team with the likes of Dubois and Byfield in the lineup. Velarde's a bigger man that doesn't play an overly physical game. He's got a lot of skill.
Blake Lizotte shovels it in. I thought that went off the curved glass, and there's the late whistle, signaling as such. Of course, Gabe Velarde, Alex Iafallo going over to Winnipeg. Coming the other way was Pierre-Luc Dubois.
So the Jets got rid of a guy that was unhappy. They got a lot of unhappy, you know. Say you want about Blake Wheeler, he's had a good career, but the Jets seem reinvigorated this year, as they illustrated last night, Jack.
I think the mood changed in that dressing room. And nothing against Blake Wheeler. He's lost for the season, got hurt with the New York Rangers. Evander Kane, left corner. McLeod behind the net for Corey Perry. Top of the left circle. He'll just feather one down low. Melt some clock. Good cycle here. Evander Kane to McLeod. Erased in the corner. Then Perry back behind the net. Grappling for puck possession with Englund. Good, fiercely fought scrap back behind the net. Finally dug out by LA, but we're down to a minute 20. Brunstrom in from the left-hand side, and that's offside. A minute 17 to go in the third. Just there, a subtle reminder of what Corey Perry brings in terms of veteran presence.
Gamesmanship. Brunstrom, by the way,
he melted 35 seconds.
I mean, hash marks in. He's still a top flight player. He's up the... Was never the greatest skater, but hash marks in, he's still got it.
Face-off won cleanly by Carrick. Broken stick, and now a chance. Wrist shot, score. Trevor Moore. Left circle set up by LaFerriere. And another strange goal where CeCe's stick explodes on him, and it's 6-4 with 71 seconds left to play. And now I think you got to pull Cam Talbot. Why not?
All day. What are the chances?
What a bizarre... CeCe's stick just... I mean, LA wasn't really even putting pressure on. Moore gifted a goal there set up by LaFerriere. The rookie will get his first Stanley Cup playoff point, and now you've got a 6-4 game, and Talbot's not pulled. The Oilers dump it in. Drew Doughty back to collect for the Kings.
Well, he's coming out once they get up the ice here.
Doughty left-hand side for Fiala. Now Talbot does go to the bench as Adrian Kempe with a burst of speed. A wrist shot off the blocker of Skinner. Another shot by Fiala. That was blocked. Poked free by Cody Ceci and shoveled out by Leon Draisaitl, who took a healthy swipe at one of the Kings. Might have been Fiala. Up the right-hand side, Arvidsson. And now Draisaitl, a couple of swings at Arvidsson. Kings stick breaks. That was Moore who tried to shovel it in. The Oilers tossed it right back to center. Open net. Shot score. Warren Fogle puts it away with 26 seconds to go. Edmonton 7, Los Angeles 4.
You know, everything counts for Warren Fogle. He's in a contract year, but he has been a guy that in the playoffs, and his line last year with McLeod and Derek Ryan in the final 5 games against Vegas was good. They just couldn't score. He did get one against Vegas in Game 6. Empty net there, puts this one away.
And that's his 10th career Stanley Cup playoff goal. A good check on Kevin Fiala right in front of the LA bench. And immediately deposited it in the back of the net. 7-4.
This game had no right being 7-4.
No, it could have easily been 4-2. Here's a quick dish off up the right-hand side. A deflected puck, England to Blake Lazant, left circle. Crowd will count you down. The final 10 seconds. The first Game 1 win at home since 1990. One final clear, and that's all she wrote.
Jack, this one had a bit of a hot tub time machine feel to it.
You said you were surprised at the 7-6 score between Winnipeg and Colorado. I can't imagine this one with 11 goals on 82 shots isn't any less surprising considering the Kings' reputation coming in.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a top 3 defensive team the entire season. 4th best save percentage in the league. Not tonight. The Edmonton Oilers, Jack, got 15 shots on goal in every period.
45 in the game, out shooting LA 45-37, and never trailing in a decisive 7-4 verdict where the Kings pushed their way back in during the second period, only to take the late penalty. Trevor Moore, with 20 seconds to go in the second period, that paved the way for Edmonton's top unit to convert on the power play 68 seconds into the final period, and at 5-2, that probably put the game out of reach. It turned out to be the game-winning goal as a result of a couple of freaky goals in the final 3 minutes for LA. First, Pierre-Luc Dubois banking one in off Bouchard, and then Trevor Moore on a stick explosion. Let's go ringside with Brendan Escott, who's standing by with Sam Carrick.
Yeah, Sam, you take the lead out of the gate, and you don't relinquish it, but some peculiar bounces along the way, maybe lending itself to a higher score line than originally it could have been, let's say. What do you think overall of how your team fared in this Game 1?
Yeah, I thought it was obviously good. You know, we got the win. Like you said, you know, their goals were, you know, they did have some good bounces there on their goals, and that's going to happen for sure. But I think the good thing we did tonight was we had enough goals that we had a comfortable lead, you know, the whole time. So great job by us, great job by our power play to, you know, step up there. And obviously Skins was huge for us when we did need them.
Your first playoff game, and you get to experience it in front of this crowd. Just tell me what that was like.
Yeah, just incredible. I mean, it was so loud right from the get-go. A lot of emotions for myself, for sure. You know, I was just trying to stay calm and collected. And, you know, when the crowd's buzzing like that, it's that loud. It's, you know, it's hard not to get excited and to get fired up. So, you know, credit to them. And, you know, that was one of the funnest games I've ever been a part of.
Just a couple things you want to clean up there for your group heading into Game 2 on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think just, you know, being ready off face-offs, a lot of that stuff. they seem to jump pretty hard off every draw. So, I think for the most part we did a good job of containing them and sticking to defense first mindset. And we'll look forward to doing it again.
Appreciate that, Sam.
All right, no problem,
guys.
Thank you, Brendan. Well, for the first time since Edmonton and Dallas squared off in 3 consecutive years between 1999 and 2001, 2 NHL teams stare one another down for the 3rd consecutive year, and this one goes to Edmonton. Round 1, Game 1, final score, Oilers 7, Kings 4, McDavid 5 assists, Bouchard 4, Zach Hyman a hat trick, Adam Henrique a goal and an assist, Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl with the other goals, and Fogle an empty netter to put it away. Stuart Skinner 33 saves. Cam Talbot saddled with the loss. He gave up 6 on 44 tonight.
What a
Bob.
wild game.
Yeah, it was. And again, I think, when you ask the Oilers what they'd like to clean up, Bob, to be honest with you, except for a lull in the second period, I think the 4 goals,
did that flatter LA? Did that flatter LA tonight?
Well, 2 go off skates. Edmonton might have gotten a break with the Trevor Lewis situation. I think LA could have legitimately had 2 or 3 goals tonight, but you have to look at the fact that 2 go off skates, and the other one, Cece's stick on a seemingly innocuous-looking play all of a sudden explodes on him, and it turns into basically a 2-on-1.
But the way this game was going, Jack, you knew that once they made it 6-4 and they pulled the goal, you knew the Oilers were going to get an empty netter, didn't you? The way this game was going tonight.
Either that, or we could have had it more interesting the way Colorado made it in Winnipeg. I wasn't sure which way this game was going. It was a bizarre game.
It was a bizarre game, but Edmonton was better, and their power play kicked the living snot out of LA in this game.
Well, look at it's 7-4, and the Oilers end up with 3 power play goals.
And they got some big bounces on 3 of their 4 goals, no question about it. Edmonton's going to need to clean. Interesting, Carrick mentions we got to do a better job. The Oilers are the better face-off team, but the Kings were crashing players in, creating some turnovers off of face-offs. That's something to look forward. I thought LA was surprisingly physical. They do have a bigger team with the likes of Byfield and Dubois added to their squad up front. They were also going after Bouchard a bit on defense. Should be noted that they were doing that. But the bottom line here is you're up 1-0. You've won at home for the first time since May 2nd, 1990, when the Oilers beat Chicago in Game 1 of the Campbell Conference Final and road to winning their 5th and final Stanley Cup.
Think about that. It wasn't even the Western Conference back then. It was the Campbell Conference.
Yeah. But the win's the win, and that's what matters tonight.
You don't expect any lineup changes for Edmonton, provided there are no injury tweaks. What about LA? Do you think, the Kings, all they really have is that they could go to Arthur Kaliev. Alex Turcotte is theoretically back. Or do you go 11-7, Bob? That's something the Kings did a lot during the regular season.
I don't understand what's happened to Kaliev. He had 14 and 13 goals. He was on their second power play unit. He shoots the puck a ton. He gives, to me, a guy like that against Edmonton, when you're a team challenged for offense, I would find a way to have him in the lineup.
LA views him, obviously, as a one-dimensional player that can only help him on the power play. They haven't really utilized him 5-on-5, and again...
And they pivoted away very quickly from that 4th line.
Right.
They did not play Byfield and, the big man Dubois a lot together. Byfield moved up because they were chasing. In the game. Right. Of course, the Oilers had, a 3-0.
I think 11-7 is a possibility for LA.
We'll have to wait and see, but I would be one thing we've seen with Chris Knobloch is he doesn't screw with success, and that's part of the reason why he's had multiple long winning streaks in junior and Kootenay, in junior and Erie, regular season, and in the playoffs. Is he doesn't overthink it in terms of changes.
Give me that junior record, Knobloch and Hiller. You had a stat for me before the playoffs.
Yeah, it was 0-2. Hiller, ironically enough, including it because they only played the one time each year back then when the East would play the West. Believe it or not, Kootenay was in the East, and Hiller was in Tri-City. Now Tri-City had a really good year the year after Kootenay went to the Memorial.
So they only played twice in the regular season.
Throw it out the window.
Okay, so now what is he? Would he be 2-1 against Hiller, or 1-1?
No, he'd be 3-1.
Well, he all 4. No, Hiller didn't come until after the All-Star break.
Right. The Derek Ryan shootout goals with Todd Still as coach.
Yes.
1-1. He's now 2-1 this year.
There you go. All right, so 2-1 this year, 2-3 for his.
LA's going to have to be more disciplined. That's one thing they're going to have to do.
Oh, no question. I thought it cost them the game.
Well, we're back to the same story. I mean, if you're right, it's from
9 for 16. So add tonight. The Oilers over a 2-year period are 60% on the power play against the LA Kings.
It's crazy.
So Edmonton wins Game 1, and in doing so, wins Game 1 at home for the first time in the Connor McDavid era. They'd been 0-5 since McDavid and Draisaitl and Nurse all infused this team with the stuff that requires a playoff appearance, namely talent, and they hadn't won a Game 1 at home. They had been 0-5. They get it done tonight. They break a 7-game losing streak to open series, but remember, the only Game 1 they've won in the McDavid-Draisaitl era, they ended up losing the series, and that was to Corey Perry and the Anaheim Ducks back in 2017 when the Ducks rallied from 2 games down in that series, won 4 of the final 5, including rallying from a 3-0 deficit in Game 5, and Perry got the overtime winner in that one as Anaheim ultimately prevailed in 7. But fast forward to tonight, 7 years later, the Oilers, the oldest team in the National Hockey League, riding experience and the line of Henrique, Hyman, and McDavid to a commanding Game 1 victory. Those 3 combined for 10 points. McDavid and Bouchard with 5 and 4 assists, respectively. Hyman the hat trick. Edmonton 7, LA 4. Stuart Skinner evening his lifetime playoff record at 6-6 with the win. He earned the victory with 33 saves. Game 2 Wednesday night. We'll have it for you at 8:20 Mountain Time. Until then, for Bob Stauffer, Reed Wilkins, Rob Brown, this is Jack Michaels saying good night from Rogers Place. Game 1 to the Oil. Edmonton 7, Los Angeles 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the pleasure was all ours. The Rogers postgame show starts right now.
Exclusive live interviews, expert analysis, and game highlights. This is the Rogers postgame show. Once again, here's Bob Stauffer on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hyman reversing to Draisaitl, guides it to Bouchard. McDavid right face off top, tips home, 6-2. Hyman's got a hat trick.
That's the Century Casino Highlight Zone. All in, all games, all season. Century Casino's 3 great locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, next to the Edmonton International Airport at Century Mile. Welcome to the winner's zone. Zach Hyman gets the hat trick. On that goal, Connor McDavid picks up his 5th assist of the game. Evan Bouchard picks up his 4th. Edmonton beats LA 7-4 in a wild hockey game that featured 82 shots on goal, 11 goals, and the Kings basically with 3 fluky plays that resulted in goals in this hockey game. This is the Rogers postgame show from the Legacy Heating and Cooling broadcast booth on the Oilers Radio Network.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold to the vent, start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh yeah, save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Ready to score big on your outdoor space? It's game time with Park Landscaping. Transform your backyard into a winning arena with Park Landscaping's expert team. From design to maintenance of lush lawns and state-of-the-art synthetic turf to inviting pools and captivating water features, Park Landscaping will make your outdoor space the MVP. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with Park Landscaping. Call 780-486-2744 today or email info@parklandscaping.ca.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
This a face-off win for Carrick, but the Oilers don't clear it. Philip Deneau tried to give it up for Arvidsson. That was intercepted by Bouchard, and it's brought out of the zone by Adam Henrique. Ekholm with a turnover down the middle, breakaway. Arvidsson shoots, and a save made by Skinner.
Well, there you go. That's the save of the game, brought to you by Access Insurance. Alberta Oilfield and Construction Contractors can count on huge saves when they need it the most. Visit accessinsurancegroup.com. Bob Stauffer, Jack Michaels, Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, of course, Cam Moon, all part of the Oilers Radio Network, the Legacy Heating and Cooling Broadcast Booth, Legacy Heating and Cooling, home and no interest and no payments for a year. Rob, give me your assessment. Edmonton winning 7-4.
Well, the better team won. The Oilers did everything that they needed to do offensively. There were some pushes from LA, and you would expect that. LA is a good hockey club. At the end of the day, the 7-4 score probably flatters the LA Kings a little bit.
Yes, I agree.
But we talked before the game, Reed and I. If you're the underdog, which the LA Kings certainly are in this series, you need a couple things to go well for you. You need very good goaltending. They did not get that. Cam Talbot, there was a couple that he has to save. And you've got to be disciplined. The Edmonton Oilers, I don't care where they finished on the season in the power play. They have the scariest power play unit in the National Hockey League. Anytime there is a big moment in the game on the power play, we expect they're going to score. And the LA Kings took 3 dumb penalties. And the one that Dubois took, he took on Connor McDavid. Hey, you know what? You've got to run Connor if you're the opposition. But pushing him into the boards, it doesn't faze Connor, and you gave the Oilers a goal. He grabs Leon. Yeah, absolutely, you got to be physical against Leon. But grabbing him and taking a 2-minute penalty, that's dumb. The more hit, it's 4-2 at the end of the second period. The Kings were coming. They were playing well. Moore takes a dumb hit. The Oilers score on that power play. So the LA Kings, to me, self-destructed at times in this hockey game. And Dubois was the biggest of those players. And if I'm the LA Kings, I come back with Rittich in game 2. I don't think you cannot beat the Edmonton Oilers in a playoff game with average goaltending. You need very good goaltending to give yourself a chance. And I don't think Kings got it.
All right, so you're making the change to Rittich for LA. One thing that we've seen with Chris Knobloch is consistency. He sticks with the same lineup.
Well, yeah, he does and he doesn't. There's a lot of times this year in their winning streak that they change lines or they put different players in.
But he hasn't altered the lineup in terms of the 18 skaters.
Well, but he has. He's had guys come back. I don't see him changing now. There's no reason to. In the season, he had guys come back from injury that he wanted to get into the lineup. At times, he changed guys on the 4th line because he didn't want them to get stale. And a team appreciates that. I think in tonight's game, there was nothing that you saw that you would think would change the lineup. I thought everyone gave what you expected out of them. I thought the Oilers' penalty killers, which are a lot of the times guys lower in the lineup, I thought they were very good in this game.
Yep.
They got a little bit of juice out of their 4th line. Henrique on the 1st line was very good. Kane, I thought, skated well for a guy that missed a number of practices and games. I thought he looked good in this hockey game. I also think what you saw in this game is the reason they brought Corey Perry in. Every time he touches the puck, he makes the right play.
Yes.
There was a couple times he carried the puck up to the blue line, and he could have thrown the puck across to a D-man, but if it doesn't work out, then it could create problems for those. He gets up, brings the defenseman up with him, then throws it back in the corner, gets the whole cycle going again. That's just smart playing. He understands what it takes to win. It was a very professional win for the Oilers. They didn't get too amped up, which is sometimes a problem in Game 1 on home ice when the fans are going crazy. They just took care of business, and I like the fact that they were the discipline of the two teams. At times last year, in the last 2 years, the Oilers were the undisciplined team and allowed the LA Kings to hang around. Tonight, they did not.
Per Sportsnet stats, Elliot Friedman tweeting out 4,333 days between Adam Henrique's last 2 playoff goals. This is an NHL record previously set by Craig Ludwig. So there you go. And Henrique looked pretty good on that line. Like, he's just smart and he's in the right spots. It was a great goal. So you're going with Rittich?
I would go with Rittich. What do you think about Talbot tonight? The goal that Henrique scored, I get nice shot by Henrique, but you need good goaltending against the Oilers.
I think they're going to go one more with Talbot, and then they've got the obvious move at home.
Yeah, see, the thing is, you didn't see it. I watched the LA Kings play against the Chicago Blackhawks last game of the season. I watched that game. The only reason the Chicago Blackhawks were in it because Talbot had a very, very poor night that night. So that's 2 bad games in a row for Cam Talbot.
All right. Great stuff, Rob. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow night on Oilers Now and Wednesday on the Oilers Radio Network.
Sounds good, Bob.
This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Hey, Paul Brandt here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm proud to call myself an Albertan. You know, after years of touring this great province in my Ford F-150, I've learned the value of driving a tough, capable, smart truck. Whether you're working for the weekend or long-hauling it like I am, there's an F-150 for every Albertan, with plenty of options to choose from, like available Pro Power on board. So if you're looking for a new truck, stop by your Alberta Ford dealer and tell them PB sent you.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
When you play the largest 50-50 in sports, everybody wins. Your support makes all of oil country a better place. A place of kindness, caring, and compassion. Uplifting those in need, changing lives forever. The largest 50-50 pot in professional sports is currently growing by the second. Get your tickets now at EdmontonOilers.com and help change lives today. Maybe even your own.
AGLC license number 645766.
You're tuned in to the Rogers postgame show on the official voice of the Edmonton Oilers, 630 CHED, and on the Oilers Radio Network.
Bouchard gives it back to Connor McDavid. Half minute on the power play. One-timer score. Leon Draisaitl from deep in the right circle. Roofed it. 5-2 Edmonton. Fourth point of the night for McDavid.
Well, that's a smart play of the night, brought to you by Catelli Smart Pasta with all natural ingredients. It's a smart move for your next meal. Look for the box the next time you shot. 3 different guys scored in the power play tonight. Draisaitl set in a tap-in for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Absolute BB from Leon Draisaitl off the right side. Half-boards in his kill zone from Connor McDavid. Then McDavid on the backside tap-in for Zach Hyman. Oilers all over LA. 7-4 final score. Out-of-town scoreboard for Pizza 73, the official pizza of the Edmonton Oilers. Maple Leafs rallied. They were down 2-1 after losing game 1, 5-1 in Boston. Austin Matthews with a beauty, an absolute beauty, to win it for the Leafs. 3-2 final score. Toronto and Boston tied 1-1 going back to TO. Mark Stone scored within the first 90 seconds of the game on the power play after being on LTIR for the last couple months. And Vegas scored 4 goals on 10 shots at one point in that game, built up a 4-2 lead, hung on for a 4-3 victory in Dallas. It's a road victory. They're the only one of the road teams to get a win in game 1 of a series. Meanwhile, what a comeback by the Carolina Hurricanes, down 3-0 at home to the Islanders in game 2 after winning game 1 of that series, and they had triple the amount of shot attempts as the New York Islanders and beat the Islanders 5-3, 5 unanswered goals from the Carolina Hurricanes. Here, Rogers Place, the Edmonton Oilers win game 1 of a series at home for the first time since May 2nd of 1990. Final score, 7-4 over LA. This is the Rogers postgame show on the Oilers Radio Network.
Athletes know that to advance your career, you've got to be part of a winning team. So, what about you? Are you working for a winning team? Well, here's your chance to do just that. Brandt is a strong and stable industry leader with career opportunities across Canada. We have hundreds of positions available right now, from parts, sales, positioning technology, heavy-duty mechanics, and more. Be a part of a winning team. Earn your stripes by joining Brandt today. Find out more at BrandtJobs.com.
From your home to the ice rink, ATCO Energy is there. As the official energy provider of Rogers Place, we're also proud partners of the Edmonton Oilers. ATCO Energy, powering your place. Customers are free to purchase natural gas services or electricity services from a retailer of their choice. For a list of retailers, visit ucahelps.alberta.ca or call 310-4822.
Let's go to the Molson Cup 3 Stars, presented by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it. 3rd star tonight, 4 assists, Evan Bouchard. 2nd star tonight, 5 assist performance, Connor McDavid. 1st star tonight, by virtue of a hat-trick, Zach Hyman. The Rogers postgame show is heard following each of our NHL broadcast here in the Oilers Radio Network. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Playoff Series between Edmonton and LA live at Rogers Place will take place Wednesday night, 8:20 puck drop. For my play-by-play partners this season, Cam Moon, who called over 60 regular season games. Jack Michaels, who will have all the playoff action with us. Rob Brown, Reed Wilkins, Brendan Escott, studio producers, Kellen Kennedy to help tonight, and Angie Quinnell, ace engineer. Troy Bowler, Bob Stauffer saying so long from a victorious Rogers Place. Oilers beat the Kings 7-4 to open up the series. So long, everybody.
The Rogers Post-Game Show is heard following each of our NHL broadcasts. Portions of this exclusive broadcast are brought to you by Ford, official partner of the Edmonton Oilers. Built Ford proud. Molson, whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or Excel, there's a Molson with your name.